It's a good idea.
And that's the way you can do it, but the problem was you literally need double the peripherals. You need a mouse and keyboard for that computer, for the Linux, and a mouse and keyboard for the other one, and a monitor. And I was like, ugh. I spent like a solid 2 days getting it to work, but in the end, I would have gotten it to work. I was doing like server level like kind of shit on my computer, and I was like, I just want this to work so bad, and in the end, I couldn't get it to do what I wanted, but which is whatever. It's fine. I don't care. How did you fix the problem where it just shows just your like?
Shows what?
Oh, there we go. I got your stream. Yeah, I see me. Cool. I see you.
Yeah, you gotta max out. I see you in a little itty bitty corner there. So we'll see. All right. What do we want to?
How did you get it so that I don't see your chat? Because I don't see my chat on yours. How the fuck are you doing that?
You click there should be full screen button.
Oh.
On there.
Oh wait. Oh, let's see. Properties. Yeah. Properties.
Go to interact.
Wait, where the fuck do you see interact?
In your OBS, right click the box that I'm in, and then it should be the very bottom. There should be interact, filters, and properties.
Fuck yeah. Oh, there we go.
Click interact and then literally click full
there
screen
you is.
in that.
There
and then mute that too. You can mute
I already muted you. You're nowhere to be heard.
You muted.
I'm gonna let's
Yeah, mute me in.
I muted you in the browser.
And that. Okay, cool. The first like 5 minutes of this is just gonna be us just bullshitting about how to co-stream.
Dude, I downloaded my other stream and I posted it on YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can keep them. That's really sweet.
Yeah, the first like
I'm gonna start doing that.
15 minutes is just me being like, why isn't my goddamn music work?
Didn't even edit it. Just sent it. Just raw dogged it right onto YouTube.
Yeah, but I finally figured out why my music wasn't working. It's because of my headphones. It was playing through the wrong
the wrong
headset.
Channel.
Yeah, and I was like, stupid.
Gotcha. Okay.
Let's see, how am I doing here?
That's so funny. And yeah, it's funny because you can't like edit videos on Twitch either of stuff you've done.
No, I hate that. Like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the point of it, I guess. But yeah.
So for everybody joining us or viewing us later, I am co-streaming with my buddy Landry. They are doing a really sweet little, not tutorial, but like a little workshop of Zbrush. So this is as educational for me as it is for anybody viewing this. And I am working on some miniatures that I've been working on for weeks now that I'm trying to finish up. Because they look pretty decent, but to me, they don't look done. So we're going to try and get them done today.
It's personally the worst spot to be in.
Really? It's past the hot garbage phase, I think, but it's definitely not in the done phase.
Yeah, I don't know. It's always like the hard where you're like, it's there, but it's not there.
It's there. We're getting there. It's definitely like, quote unquote, tabletop ready is the term they use in my culture. But to me, it's not done.
Let's see.
So we're gonna try and get it more done. And if you see like on my fingers like these weird little blotches, this is just paint because I'm a messy painter.
That's fair.
Aaron, why don't you tell us what you're working?
I'm working on filling some little
not tonight.
Polygons here is what I'm doing.
Okay. What you're filling polygons on what?
Well,
like,
yes.
What is this cool like
so
relief we're looking at here of a face?
Let me pull back out. This face is this little face guy we got here is a 3D scan of a random bust from one of Brooklyn's subway stops outside the Brooklyn Museum. trying to look into the research behind it. I have to like at this point I found out they were from a sculpture garden of some
Ooh.
something. They're definitely not originals by any means. They're like concrete casts off of a like a master mold of some sort.
Okay.
But
Pretty cool though.
yeah, they're sweet. So it's like I'm pretty sure this is like a green man from what I can like gather from like just like the art style of it. It's like kind of Art Nouveau with like leaves and stuff, which doesn't really
Yeah.
show up in mine anymore. But that's because I am mainly the way I work is 3D scan stuff, smooth everything out to get it back to like a nice mesh state. Because like right now the mesh is like very uniform. If you
I can definitely see some progress from when you first started working on this. Absolutely.
yeah, this thing
It's looking a
is
lot more crispy.
so yeah. So what I generally do is like get it to this point, and then like I have to patch all the weird holes in it.
Mhm.
Because it's just like like 3D scan meshes are generally like awful unless you're
Yeah.
using like really high end like laser equipment. But I'm using photogrammetry techniques, which are basically it's the cheapest and easiest way for anyone to 3D scan. You
Are
can use
you
your
still using do you remember
the Connect.
using like an Xbox 360 Connect scanner
I've
back when that was a thing?
yeah I still have like the pro software. I basically like charge someone for doing like 3D scanning for them. Um,
Hmm.
I don't use it anymore because this is actually way better. This like just using your cell phone. I use
Yeah.
my I keep it's really weird. I keep hearing myself duck out my headphones. It's awkward.
You might have you like messed around with like filters at all, like high pass and stuff like that,
Yeah, let me
and
turn them off.
compression?
Turn this off for now.
Um, because that's what I've been doing. Um, I still haven't found a comfortable spot that like keeps the loud tacks of my mechanical keyboard silent without also muting me half the time, but we'll
Yeah,
figure it out.
that's what I need to. I need to play with that as well because like I can like my mic is so like it's really nice because it's super sensitive in a
Mhm.
lot of ways. But like you can I was looking at the decibel input. You can literally see me slowly open my kombucha as it pops up.
Yeah. It's like it's clever in that it like cuts out some stuff, but like other stuff like when my radiators hiss or when like I'm clacking on the keyboard, it just like you can hear it and it just sounds like really bad white noise.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. But uh, let's see here. So far, what I have to do with my little project is refocus the camera. There we go. Still got to do the face a little bit, which is going to be tricky because it's like under a hood. So I'm like painting in, and then he's got like a bionic eyes. That's going to be interesting to do too. And then also like push the values on like the cloak, and then also do some panel lining on the armor, which is going to be an interesting thing to do. Also, I have like a couple washes to do, like over the metallics. But I just want to take a minute and like look at this sword because I am very happy with this, how this turned out. I really went for like this is how like a lot of the classic models look, like this like weird almost crystal sword and then like the warm rainbow, like the warm gradient with like the little squigglies on it. So I'm pretty happy with that. That's probably my favorite part of the
Ooh,
model so far, honestly. Yeah.
that does look
Good.
nice. I saw
Yeah.
it when you were
Good
still
thing.
setting up or like just painting the base on
Yeah. So
that sword.
I think I'm going to start with the washes and push back some of that bright silver metallic we have to get some wash in those crevices. So put this
No,
off to the side for now.
I'm currently
And
cleaning my monitor because it's fucking disgusting.
yeah. Gotta have a clean monitor. Always.
Okay, back. Oh, I can't. Ooh, kitten's on her little pillow underneath me.
We both got to get cat cams.
I know, kitten's. I have a little bed underneath my desk for kitten now that she chills under, which is fucking great.
That's awesome. I'm trying to get pickles at that level.
It's only taken like 5
But
years.
like, she'll just she'll just like come over and like meow and then stare at me and then like just start sprinting down the stairs. It's so funny. But I'm gonna turn this light back on for now, so I can see. Oops. There we go. This is nice, actually, like this little document cam setup. Because it really helps me see better what I'm painting, because it has an overhead light built in,
Yeah,
which is real snazzy.
it
But it
looks really nice. Kind of blows out, though.
It does blow out a little bit. And I know there's probably some like white balance settings I can go in and tweak.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
now,
honestly, it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah. So we're gonna do that. So I have this stuff. This is Citadel's Nuln Oil Gloss. So there's 2 different kinds. So
did you say gnome oil?
Nuln, N-L or N-U-L-N. It's a place. So in the lore of Warhammer, there's a province Nuln, and they produce like oil for all the machines in the Empire. So that's like why it's like kind of like a black tar color. But there's 2 different kinds. There's a gloss, and then there's the regular. So the regular will dull down the metal to make it more like the rest of the miniature. But the gloss keeps that like shiny metallicness to it. So I've been using the regular, but I just got this gloss type, and I really want to give this a try because I hear this flows a little better, whereas like the regular will kind of just mute all the metal and kind of settle in the recesses. The Nuln Oil will, or the gloss version, will settle in the recesses better, kind of drape off of the like the high points, and like really, I don't know, it just like gives you a better contrast. Let me get a better brush actually first. Something with a little bit more bristles, a little bigger of a well here. But like at this point, it doesn't really matter if I use the gloss or the regular. Well, it does matter at this point, but like later on, I'm probably going to spray this miniature with like a matte clear coat, which will bring all of like the finishes down to the same level. So like it won't even like this gloss won't even show up. So right now I'm really just using this for the better flow properties. Yeah.
Fascinating.
Alleged.
It's alleged flow. Ooh, someone just booped me.
You got a boop. What'd you get?
I can't tell if it's an L or an H. Ihan Song? Elhan Song? Well, thank you for the follow regardless, even if I can't pronounce your name.
Gotta follow. That's always good. We're building here.
Whip it out. Oh, I know who it is now.
Whip it out.
Hi, Elliot.
Elliot!
I realized I fucked up super badly yesterday when I was working on this, and made myself have so much more work now that I have to come back and clean up all this weird mesh that occurred because I've listened to the goddamn chat.
What'd you do?
So I was trying to. So with the 3D scan, like since you're only like scanning like the front of it when it's like it's like a bust in a wall, the entire back didn't exist. So I have to like degenerate that. And there's like, I'm still like not good enough at Zbrush to like how to do like these big fixes, and I kind of know the steps, but I'm sure I didn't have like the right step in between of like using the magic fill button. So it like created this like little balloon thing at the back, which is fine. But then it created like this really intense, basically tessimated seam across everything, and like there's no good way to like just to select that. and unfortunately it didn't get put in its own poly group, which in terms of ZBrush, a poly group is, you can effectively think of it as like a Illustrator layer, or
Okay. So you can't like section it off
no, not
and like work
easily.
on it individually.
Yeah, so what I've been doing
Not
is going
easily.
through and turning off other layers and then painting, and trying to turn them into poly groups so I can delete it quicker.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's kind of it's risky because I run into like, because they're like wrapped around in like impossible geometry effectively.
Gotcha.
Oh, another follower. Whoever followed me, thank you. Also, I don't
Nice.
know why my Stream Elements goal doesn't work. Um,
What do you
Jesus
mean?
Christ. It's so, like, there's in Stream Elements there's a setting that you can like set goals for like follower count.
Oh, okay.
I currently have 0 out of 50, but that is not correct.
Hmm. I wonder if you have to. It might be in the settings.
I don't. How
That
did
is strange.
Dr. Panda already got blocked from chat?
I don't
So,
know if I can moderate for you tonight.
you're just gonna have to sit there for your 300 seconds because Will is on screen, so he's busy already.
Sorry, Dr. Panda.
Because I tried to turn it down so that you could spam with caps locks and whatnot. Oh my god, it blocked Sarah as well.
Your bot is like on a power trip right now. That's so funny.
Oh my god! As soon as I turned it down, it absolutely, I got flooded at the beginning of this.
Oh, did you put it back?
Yeah, I turned it back to the high setting because I was just getting spammed again. Here, let's see if I can control it from the dashboard.
Or did you put it back?
Oh, yeah, mute it. Oh god. What? Can I not moderate my own?
Not allowed. That'd be funny.
I just can't see them. Well, that's fucking stupid. Well, anyways, let's see here. I'll go into a web browser, see if I can. Now I'm getting text. You did this to us. You silenced us. I didn't do anything. The robot did. It's probably from you fucking sending all caps locks. My god. All right. Open up.
Dr. Panda type, does it tell you?
No, I can't see anything. It just says that all I can see is like one message was deleted by a moderator, and then it timed out for 300 seconds. I never know what it is though.
Just Dr. Panda just needs to talk like a normal person and not like a bot.
It's I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I have no idea what he's doing. I didn't do caps. I don't know what the fuck you did then.
Because I know sending links is sometimes bad.
He just said
I wonder if it has
crossover
like
episode question mark. I don't know.
yes, sir. I wonder if like the bots like remember repeat offenders, you know?
Probably.
Like, oh, you're in trouble.
I mean, it's totally fine if he's, emote spam, which is totally
I don't
fine.
know. I think we just got to get to the point where we can like afford to have people mods.
Right.
To just hang out in like active ban.
Spam filter. Okay, here. Removes messages contain excessive amounts of. Can I fine tune this? Oh, here. Let's.
I think you can. To a certain degree.
Maximum amount of allowed in a message 20 caps. Minimum characters to check 10. Maximum percent 30%. Jesus fucking Christ.
I think I messed around with those settings and like got rid of like most of those.
Here, I'll turn off caps protection, symbol protection.
Yeah, I got rid of. I definitely kept the link sharing because links are like what the bots like to, or the bad bots like to spam.
Okay, I turned off some stuff. When your thing gets off, you should get blocked anymore. I realized I had symbol protection on, so you're getting banned because, and it's gonna bite me in the ass later, but it's because you did exclamation point, question mark, exclamation point.
That's funny.
Because it's 20%. Ugh, whatever, it doesn't matter. I'm getting out of this. I'm going back to what I was doing. I turn it off, so when your timeout is over, because I don't know how to turn the time off. Time out. Who is this emoji person? How is this emoji person getting through? It doesn't block. It doesn't block. I don't know. I don't want to tell you. It doesn't block emojis.
The cards are stacked against you, Panda.
It just likes Elliot, I think, more. Also, it's PogChamp, so like I'm pretty sure they just don't give a fuck about PogChamp.
Is
well,
it
I mean, they do now.
PogChamp, or is it like the new PogChamps?
Well, yeah, it's the new one because
the dailies.
Yeah.
Which one is it today?
I don't know. I don't know who this is. It's some dude. No, it's the original PogChamp dude.
Is it? They're back to the OG?
I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Because I think he like made a statement where he was all like, "I shouldn't be like ostracized because of the community I helped promote."
Wham, wham, wham.
Oh, see, like this is the shit I'm talking about. There's like these weird moments where it folds in on itself,
like a little hair,
and I cannot do anything about it. It's really annoying.
Can you like just put a shape there and like mesh it and just, you know what I mean? Like if you put like a little cube.
I could, but the problem is I have to clean this mesh first because it's like doing weird intersections, and that'll just cause a problem when I try to join this mesh later.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go quickly and mask all of this because I discovered that was a lot fat. I figured that out at the very end of the stream on Monday that I could mask. It's faster to mask than go through and try to edit these weird polygon structures.
Gotcha.
And then come in and clean up those structures later. Because I discovered a really fast way to effectively... I have no idea how I did this without a fucking... I used to do Zbrush with a mouse, and I don't know how to fucking manage, because like now I don't think I could go back. And I'm taking that
class. You couldn't go back to a mouse?
A mouse and keyboard? No. Stylus is definitely the way to go.
Yeah, isn't Zbrush designed for like a tablet?
Yeah.
For like a Wacom?
100%. Fuck. And I'm taking a class this weekend, and it like in the thing it says
Arthur Hash class.
Yeah, and it's like in the class it's like, don't forget you make sure you have a mouse that has like 3 buttons. I was like, oh, that is rough. But also, I mean, it's not like you can expect a bunch of like new jewelers to come in and buy like Wacoms and shit like that. I mean,
off the bat.
To be fair, I didn't buy this either. It was a gift from a group of friends.
Hey, gifts are still good.
Who are both in an endearing way assholes and very kind people.
That's always the best. Is Arthur Hash's class specifically on jewelry design, or is it just like Zbrush baby school?
Zbrush baby school, but it is geared towards like
with a jewelry focus.
Like jewelry people.
Gotcha. Okay.
And that's why I wanted to do it, but after like doing this, streaming more. I don't know if I'll actually learn anything, but maybe I'll like learn like those weird little tricks that you don't realize that he's learned because he's been doing this for like fucking 10 years.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be good. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Let's see. Oh my goodness.
Going back to this Nuln Oil gloss because I just realized there's some spots on the backpack I forgot to do. So we're gonna hit those real quick.
Oh my god, Will. The mirror paint.
Yeah, tell me about how you liked it through the airbrush, because I've only ever used it with a brush. Which is still pretty good on like a smooth surface.
Yeah, I don't like. I guess for what I'm trying to get out of it right now, what I really have been looking for, I don't want to see brush strokes, and I always fucking see them.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm using a really soft brush, and I think it's just like my inexperience of
I
properly
know
laying
if
down a paint.
yeah, if you it's very like once the pigment is on, you're not supposed to touch it. Like no switchbacks, no going over
Right.
the paint you've just put on. Like once a stroke is down,
Just
like
walk
leave
away.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
walk
that's
away. And
that's
you
where I
can go
fuck up.
back later. Yep. It's a hard habit to break, especially if like you're not like a painter,
Yeah.
by trade, or like an experienced painter. Um so I don't blame you. How was the cleanup? Because that's what I was worried about, is like just destroying my airbrush with like microscopic like
Little burrs just digging
little
in.
chrome fleck. Yeah.
It's not that bad. What I did
Yeah.
right away, like basically, well, so here's what I discovered is I effectively went through. God damn it, wrong button. I went through and I just poured it in. So I kind of burned through a vial, experimenting.
Hmm.
And then just to give context, this is like an 8 milliliter bottle that costs like $40. It's very expensive, but it's fucking magic in a
Did you
bottle.
go through the whole bottle? Please tell
No,
me you
no,
didn't.
no. I
Okay.
went through like a quarter of it within like 10 minutes though. Uh,
Wow. Did you
so
mix it with medium or anything, or
so
just
I
straight out?
well on the website it just says just put it straight in. So I was like, all right, and then I put just a little bit in, but I like since it like it's an airbrush, it's going to dry because of just like how because I don't have a gravity
Right,
fed
because of the
one.
nature of it.
I have a
Yeah.
siphon, and I think that's
Oh,
the
you
bigger
gotta
problem.
get the gravity fed. Yeah, siphon. It'll like coat the inside of your siphon before it actually gets any paint out the nozzle.
So that's exactly what was happening. But then I was like, well, fuck,
Yeah.
this is clearly isn't going to work. So I put some lacquer thinner in it,
Hmm.
and that cleaned it amazingly. Like it cleaned out the gun. That's just you're just going to purge it with lacquer thinner, and then I purge it with the cleaner after. Um,
Hmm. And for the folks at home, Aaron definitely used all safety procedures, including respiratory and ventilation,
I actually did.
right?
I do have the privilege of working in. I work in a really weird space where I have full
Cool space.
ventilation, pressurized air. It's a heated room. Uh, um,
Like that's the place to do it.
yeah, but yeah, I wore a respirator and gloves because the shit's fucking terrible for you. But but then I discovered when I was cleaning it out that the lacquer thinner works amazing in a siphon, and it lays down perfect, and it makes it go a lot farther. So now I've only put in like a little bit, and I can get it to coat my entire objects. I had to do more coats because it's much thinner paint, but
Hmm.
it's way more even coverage, and I get like exactly the mirror finish. It's pretty
Okay.
spectacular. I did realize though I didn't let it dry because the lacquer thinner like stalls out the drying even longer,
Yeah, it
and I
gives you a bigger lag time for drying out,
yeah,
which is
so
nice if you need to work with it, but
right.
pain in the butt.
Well, I came back probably 18 hours later and touched it,
Hmm.
and my finger smudge. It didn't like imprint my
No way.
fingerprint.
18 hours?
Yeah, it didn't leave
Wow.
a fingerprint, but the smudge stuck to it.
Hmm.
So I did another batch of it today. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna give it a full like 24 hours before I do anything.
Yeah, probably a good call, huh?
But it is what it is. It is what it is. But okay, my goal for tonight is to turn this into a fucking signet ring because
Do it. Oh, good
my
idea. There you go.
I'm going to effectively. I just need to fix this edging stuff and then not worry about the the back as much if I do a signet because I can just place the thing onto the signet ring and it'll make the back for me, so I don't think I gotta even worry about it anymore.
There you go.
But I am going to do it the one way I told you, where I'm just going to fold the thing in half because I think that'll be funny.
So I'm pretty happy with how the back of his cloth turned out. Um, So I think I'm going to move on from there and build up to values elsewhere. Because one thing, too, is, like, it really behooves you to... word of the day is behooves.
It isn't
To
stonks? How's the word of the day not
stonks.
stonks?
It is stonks, but... in miniature terms and painting terms,
Behoove.
it really benefits you... Different word today. To, like, try and bring up the values all together, like, at the same time. So, it's a little more even when you're done, instead of, like, bringing a 1 all the way up, if that makes sense.
Yes.
It really keeps, like, all the values on your miniature, like, the same, and just really improves the quality of the finished product. Question is, what do I want to do next? Because I want to do panel lining and edge highlight for the armor. So I'm trying to figure out what blue or gray I want to use for that highlight. I'm looking at these two. So these are more blue, but I'm also kind of looking at these, like, blue grays, or, like, these cool grays, which also might work.
I mean, I'm
But
always
I'm
a
not...
fan of blue.
Yeah. I feel like these blues are a little too rich for the blue that this is. But we can experiment. Let's experiment, actually.
Oh, what? You don't like the rich and the cools to intermingle?
Topical. Let's
Uh,
see.
you gotta stay relevant, you know.
Stay relevant. We're gonna go with this little number first.
Sylvie, do you want to go on camera? Is that what this is? Sylvia Cam.
Wawa.
Sylvia Cam. One of the many cat cams.
Look at Kitty. That's what we're all building towards on this channel, is getting cameras to have our cats on screen.
Oh my god, I want a wireless collar to put on Kitten that I can pipe into the stream.
That'd be amazing.
Don't sweet talk Sylvia like that. She is not breathtaking. I mean, she is breathtaking in the sense she takes my breath away because she has terrible breath. But Kitten, on the other hand, is breathtaking. Sylvia's fine. She's just very needy. And actually, Kitten's becoming fucking really needy, too.
Yeah. That's how Pickles is, too. She's like, you need to stop what you're doing and pay all attention to me.
Kitten is currently underneath my desk on her little pillow and bed thing that we have going on to give her a place to chill while I'm out here.
Nice.
Oh my god.
What do I want to use as a brush for this? Probably...
All the people out in the chat land, how's the audio going? Because this is the first time I'm running this dually screen. Can you hear the music? Can you hear me? Can you hear Will?
I don't have anybody in my chat, so...
I just have, I don't know who's all
You're
here
gonna need
anymore.
to let me know.
Anthony says it's good. And he's a snob when it comes to sound, so I'm just gonna go with his answer and ignore everyone else's.
Ooh, is Anthony an audio guy? Is he
Yeah. One could say. Also, the 6 people that are viewing, go follow Will at his Twitch, which is AUN Shova.
Aji. I know, so when you go to your Twitch, like, channel, dashboard or control board, when you edit, oh, look at that. Thank you, Dr. Panda. That was quick. Appreciate that.
I can hear both of you, but I can't hear the music. I have the music super low. That's probably why.
I also don't know if I have the music at an audible level. Okay,
Yeah,
I think we're definitely going with the gray blues on this one. What's up, SMP484? Appreciate that. That's awesome. Let's get
we're
it.
gonna pump Will's numbers up to that 50 fucking mark.
We're
Goddamn it!
inching closer and closer. This is gonna be great. I think we're getting real close. Oh, thank you, everybody.
Everybody, who's everybody? They've just followed me too.
But they're here now. Thank you, everybody. Is everybody someone we know?
I don't know.
Or is this just a really cool person that's happened to pop into our chat here?
If we don't know them, they're a really cool person. If we do,
yeah. I think I gotta be like 5 followers away from 50, which would be nutso.
You're at 40 yesterday. For those of you who don't know, the sweet number that we need to get to is 50 followers.
That's like the first roadblock. That's the first paywall. Oh my gosh! Thank you, Capplestick. This is
Lantry
awesome.
knows me. I know them.
From y'all. This is awesome. Aaron, are these all friends of yours, or just people that happen to pop into your stream?
No, I know everyone that's in the chat right now.
Oh, you do?
I don't have any random followers except for the couple people that came from your stream.
Well, you don't have any random followers, but you do have good friends, which is awesome. And I want to thank Aaron's good friends for also following my stream.
They're the best money I can buy.
That. The best friends money can buy.
Everybody, I don't know who the hell I don't know. I mean, apparently I know them. I don't know their username handle.
Or are they making you guess? Are they like, you know me, but I'm not going to tell you. You got to guess. Panel lining is so fun.
Oh
it's
God.
A great way to add dynamics to your miniature. It's so easy.
I hope this is entertaining because I'm literally just coloring in polygons right now, like at super zoomed in level. And I have no commentary on it because I have nothing to say other than that. That's just what I'm doing. It's miserable. Maybe I should stop this and work on making this signet base. That'll be more interesting to see.
I mean, you got to do it all eventually.
Yeah. You know? But maybe I can do this off camera though.
Go with whatever your workflow is.
Or like a middle of the day random stream where everyone's at work.
A bonus stream, yeah. Do you have it turned on where Twitch saves your streams as vids for 2 weeks?
Sorry, what?
Do you have the feature turned on where Twitch saves your streams as videos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, Will, all right, hear me out. We need to purchase Surgeon Simulator 2. You don't need VR to play it.
Oh, you don't? Let's do it then. I thought it's a VR game.
It's a bonus. It can do VR.
Is it not as fun when it's not VR though?
I don't know, maybe.
I feel like it's built for VR.
The first one wasn't.
VR would be cheating.
The first one wasn't built for VR, but then they made a VR add-on.
Really?
I don't know. I watched some people play today that weren't playing in VR, and the game's just fucking asinine.
Because Surgeon Simulator 1 was fun, and I only ever played that on my buddy's VR system.
I mean, it could be one of those games that's like, very fun in VR, but well, I'm not gonna peer pressure you to buy VR and how the fuck?
That'll be the next stretch goal. Next step is Patreon, right? Keep me beholden to my shareholders. That's literally what Patreon is just like a way to keep artists beholden to their shareholders.
I know. I had a couple friends that started doing it, and they said it actually made them make more art because they had
I was
to.
gonna say, I think I'd like it because it would keep me honest to be like, well, I got to get this done this week, but like not in like a begrudging sense, in like a, I don't know. I feel like it would give me structure to stick to. So maybe that'll be the next step after we reach 50. I'm also thinking about doing something fun for 50, like a raffle or something, like for the first 50 followers, like raffling off something I worked on stream, like maybe one of these minis, or
I want it. Dibs.
A custom mini. Like if you buy a mini and send it to me, I'll do it for you. Something like that. So that might be an option. I kind of like the second option because these are actually, I'm going to use these in my army.
Well, then someone could like, do, like, oh, Will, hear me out. You could, if they win, you could have them design their thing on Hero Forge.
I do like that.
You print it out for them and paint it.
I could do that because that's a lot cheaper than them buying it, and I do have a resin printer.
You do.
Maybe that'll be the fun little.
You have all the
fun little finish line ability.
Let's see, where are you? You goddamn pixels or polygons. I see you.
Not a bad idea. Aaron is always chock full of good ideas.
That's about it. I'm what you like to call it, an idea man.
I'm an idea guy.
I should start a consulting firm and just get paid a gross amount of money to do nothing but talk.
Hey, worst people have done it. But the thing is, it's like your ideas are good and like actually like tangible.
Yeah, that's true. I would never work in a consulting firm. Let's see here.
I'm also realizing that panel lining is probably the most boring thing to be streaming in terms of miniature painting, because it really is just me holding steady and not slipping my hands, and the detail is like so minuscule and gradual, and my camera is not the best quality, so it probably looks like I'm not even doing anything, but I promise I am.
Well, it's probably good that we're doing the co-op one, because we're both doing very god damn it, not totally captivating activities.
They're not captivating. Well, I mean, they're interesting. They're very, especially from like an outside perspective, you know.
I think that's my hardest thing is I'm captivated.
You're captivating.
I just hope everyone else is into me paint. I fucking lost it. Where am I? Ah, shit.
Don't sell yourself short.
Just gonna make this a poly group because I just got lost in my thing. And no.
Is that like whatever, where everyone like has the same boyfriends and girlfriends?
High school?
No, poly groups.
Oh, yes, that is. The poly group, your circle of polyamory. Polyamory?
Polyamory. I think it is polyamory. Yeah, polygamory is polyamory, but just gamers. Which, hey, you know, make it work. Do what makes you happy. That's my motto.
Oh my god, so ridiculous. So in our D&D campaign that I DM,
how's that going?
It's going. I can't really expand upon anything outside of it because
you got
one of my players
party members here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it's something I can talk about. Is in our campaign, one of our person's a stoner, so I had to create green fern, which is weed. But if you do smoke it, it gives you +1 to your perception rolls for an hour.
I feel like it'd give you a -1. I don't know, maybe depending on
I think no, it gives you +1 perception, but it gives you a negative on wisdom, I think is what I did. So it makes you notice things, but you can't really, you know.
But you can't interpret them.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
But in our group.
I'll go for it.
I was gonna say in our group chat today we're talking about Dr. Panda like constantly sends D&D memes in there, and he sent one about basically green fern, and I sent the bok choy emoji as like the.
Am I still in the camera? Yeah.
As the like the green fern emoji, and now the other player who's like the one that sought out the green fern just like spent his entire day procedurally generating green fern inside of Blender.
That's amazing. I need to learn how to use Blender.
If Elliot's still here, Elliot, should he learn how to use Blender? I don't know if Elliot's still here or not.
Is Elliot a Blender extraordinaire?
Well, I kind of peer pressured him into learning it. But then I think he switched back. I think he switched to Cinema 4D, which is what I prefer when I was doing that.
Blender seems pretty like catch all, you know, like it has a lot of features. It looks like.
I think that's the problem.
I say you send one painted on the show. Maybe
it worked well. What worked well? Not you. Sorry, not you. Comment. I don't know what worked well. What worked well? What were you saying? You Will, what were you saying?
Me? Oh, I thought you told me to be quiet.
No.
What did I say worked well? I think I was just talking about my painting.
Well, that's good. Oh, what the fuck is happening? This is a goddamn travesty here.
Oh, good news. My grandparents got their COVID shots today. That's awesome.
Nice. My grandma just got hers a couple days ago, or like a week ago, but then got COVID 2 days later.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. She's fine so far.
That's like just gonna fuel like anti-vaxxers, like, see, got it from the vaccine.
Yeah,
And
that's
like,
my mom.
Well,
my mom literally started saying that, and I was like, nope, it's not. It doesn't contain any virus trace. It's not that. You can't get it. And then
yeah,
the doctors
the vaccines that they're passing out here aren't that. Like, it's not like mRNA vaccines.
It's and then literally 2 hours later, the doctors came or like called my mom and be like, yeah, it looks like she had it for at least 4 days, which would have made her have it before she got the vaccine.
Oh, that makes sense. Oh, because yeah, they got to test you before you go in.
Right, and I was like, I fucking told you.
Yeah, my mom is she's like being weird about getting the vaccine. She's like eligible to get it because she's an educator, and it's just like, go get it.
My mom,
There's so many people that want it and like can't get it, and you have the ability to get it.
Yes.
And don't want it without any sort of like reaction or like drawback. Like, just get it.
What am I doing?
Talking about vaccines on the chat. Anti-vaxxers are getting banned outright, by the way.
Oh no.
Sorry, not sorry.
Oh yes, I agree. You can all burn in hell.
This is a pro science channel. But yeah, oh, that's awesome. That just made my day.
Yeah, I don't know. My mom, like, I don't understand. Like, all of a sudden she became like very skeptical of it completely, and I had to like.
Why is that a mom thing? My mom did the same thing.
I have no idea.
It's so weird. It's so weird.
Fucking bewildering. I don't know.
It just shows you how powerful like misinformation is.
It's 100% Facebook's fault.
It is. Oh man, getting off of Facebook was probably the best thing I've ever done for my mental health in like the past 10 years.
Yeah, it's like, nice.
Facebook is doo-doo. I do miss some things, like local groups, like buy and sell, and then like
dude, offer up,
like gaming groups and stuff like that. But
you don't need it. Use offer up.
Need it. Yeah.
That's what I started using instead of like Facebook groups.
That's fair.
You're probably right, everybody. You're probably right.
What does everybody say?
They said it's a town thing, and but yeah, I think it is smaller town mentality. And I assume that's what you're implying, at least, because I would agree. And if that's not what you're implying, I'm going to say that's what you're
from like a small town. It's just like, I think my mom is just like very influenceable, whatever the word for that is, because I'm not smart.
She's an Instagram influencer. I hear you.
And she like I'm sure she hangs out with people that are all like, well, I don't know. So you know that just like rubs off on her.
Right.
Impressionable, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's impressionable. Oh my god, yes. Great minds. So I know it doesn't look like I'm doing anything right now because I'm just turning things on and off, but I'm trying to isolate those weird strands.
Those weird little gerblies.
Yeah. I think I might have just made them all the wrong polygroup.
Greebles, as they're called.
Greebles?
Greebles? Is that the word?
Yes. Let's say it is. Masking. Clear out any mask. Alright, now. Mask all of that. Oh, can you hear the music now? Because it's synthwave just kicked in real hard on my headphones. Let's see, polygroups. Group masked. Alright, there we go. Here we go. Here we go. Delete hidden. Yeah! Got rid of a huge chunk of it. Alright. Oh, it is blaring in my headphones right now.
I think you can turn it
down. There it went. It just went down. I don't know what it is. It's certain songs just like kick in real hard for some reason.
I'll get that every once in a while too. I think there's some sort of equalizer setting in like on your computer probably that like mixes stuff weird.
I'll be right back. I have to take care of some cat fights.
Alright. We'll take a little fiver here while I text my grand folks.
I'm back.
It's fine. Quick.
It's they're right next to me when they do it. This is not World Star. I'm not streaming the cat fights. But I will say I'm going to come back to this polygon editing later because I'm bored of it and I need to move on.
It's good to bounce around on a project too.
Yeah.
Board work makes sloppy work, you know.
Yes. So I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna make a new layer and we're going to see if I can figure out how to make a signet using just a sphere, as that's my goal. I think I can do it. Insert. I want sphere. Boop. I'm gonna close the other two meshes down. Now, if I can remember, transpose. So from here, I should be able to edit settings of this shape and reduce its polygon count because it's at 8,000 polygons. I do not need that many polygons to edit the shenanigans.
Yeah, well, how many polygons are you working with right now?
In total, if I have everything on, I'm at, well, actually one of these is a duplicate layer as a backup, so it's probably less than this, but 447,000.
And is that a lot or a little depending on what you're working with?
It's
Like,
kind
what's
of,
the scope? What's the scale we're looking at here?
so the scan, when the scan comes in, what the fuck is that? Oh, what just happened? Oh, sorry. When the scan comes in, the scan's near about 2 million polygons,
Jeepers.
which is overkill. And oh, you know what I think it is that's doing this audio thing to me? Hold on, I gotta fix it for a second because I just feel like I have to scream
Yeah.
right now. I think that's what it was. Okay. So it kind of depends. Like, I don't work this way, but if you're making like a model that it's gonna get kicked out to like a video game or something like that, they'll have really dense meshes in the face and then very low polygons in like the arms and legs and like the body because you don't really need that density there. But if I go back to my face here, originally the way this looked, like the polygon was so dense that this was like black when I turned on this mode because it was so packed, but you don't need that much density. So right now 400,000 is probably higher than what I want to be near the end, but that's fine because I will go back and forth. And because in ZBrush you like ramp up the density of your polygon count so that you can do nice detail work, because you need the high polygons to like understand where you're like putting a mark in the material, and then you bring that back down when you're like trying to lock that in and you're trying to do like more broad strokes, which is something that took me a while to understand, is like how to like move in between those and like how to navigate that, because you think you just want to be at a high polygon count so that you can do everything, but it's not necessary. What was I doing? Oh yeah, I'm gonna do the signet ring. Try it at least. So what I gotta do right now is the sphere is like 8,000, and that's way too many for the type of editing I'm about to do. So I'm going to decimate this. Decimation master. Oops. Pre-process. Decimate. Oh, there we go. That brought it down to 1,000 polygons. Generally, right before you export this out, you would run it through this plugin called Decimation Master, and all this is doing is basically mapping out the polygons so it keeps the same topology, keeping the same topology, but minimizing the amount of points needed to represent that topology. So it'll try to like maintain a curve with only having, let's say you originally drew it like 1,000 points to make a curve. You're gonna have a very, very smooth curve. We don't physically have the ability to produce anything that really can that can be manufactured in a way to produce that curve in the physical world. So you can reduce that down to realistic, probably 10 points, and still have a very smooth curve that you'd never notice a difference. So I'm using it though right now to destroy my mesh, to bring it down a lot. But right now my meshes are really fucked up because of that. So now I need to go back in and basically have it fix the mesh. And I do that with another plugin called Remesher. And what it's going to do is basically re-topologize the whole thing. How do you not lose the detail when you decrease the polygon count after increasing it? It's like 60 FPS versus 24 FPS kind of. Yeah, similar. So like even though 60 FPS looks super creamy and smooth, we only need basically, yeah, that's a good analogy. Because like I can show you quickly. So right now I'm at a low res at 2,800, which I think is now a reasonable amount of sphere, like a sphere to work with. But if I come in and draw, I need to pick up a drawing pen brush really quick. So if I come in and try to draw on this, it's going to make these very harsh kind of like points, because what when you're drawing this, you're actually editing the points. So if I want to, let's say, make a face out of this, I'm gonna turn symmetry on really quick. So if I do this, you can see like it's so chunky looking. But if I come back now and I can increase my resolution, and what it's gonna do is increase it as I draw. So now you can see this is a lot smoother than what it originally was, even though it's maintaining that original polygon count, because it's only increasing density right where I'm drawing, and that's probably the how you're not losing detail, is it's maintaining that density where it's needed. Whereas like this information, the rest of it hasn't changed, so it doesn't need to, you know, lower or increase the density. But I'm not going to do any of that. I'm going to cut this thing up. I'm not drawing on this at all. I'm going to hack this apart if I can remember how to do that. So actually, I might have to go back a couple steps and keep it in the high density first, so I get more of an even mask. Because otherwise, if you saw when I was masking in this most recent, I already lost my history. One thing with Zbrush, if you make one wrong move, you lose your history and you can't go backwards. But anyways, like before, I had like a bunch of like randomly placed polygons, and that makes it more even of its surface area, but it makes it harder to mask because it masks against polygons. So I had a really uneven thing. So to make this flat, I have to go back to the higher density, so I get a more uniformed look. Let's see, let's go there. I also discovered this amazing trick that I can move. Once I make my mask, I can move it. That was the fucking craziest thing I've ever learned, because otherwise what I was used to do is like kind of take my pen and line it up and just kind of like, I think that's halfway, and then draw it down and be like, eh, and then I have to remask like 100 times. Now I just hold the spacebar and I can land it perfectly in there. Also, my kombucha is alcoholic, so I'm becoming slowly a little more tipsy as I go along. Lantry's Booch. Probably just as strong as a White Claw. Group mask. All right. Now we're going to go into geometry. And then I want to go modified topology, delete hidden. How is it going on your end, Will? Well, if you're talking, I can't hear you anymore. What the heck? Well, it's been fun.
Hello?
Oh, there you are.
There we are. Yeah, I don't know what happened, but we're back. Yeah, I was like asking you questions and I felt like you were ignoring me. I wonder if I pressed a button or if like Twitch did a thing.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Yeah, I was asking how do you make kombucha more boozy? Do you just like let it ferment longer? Like what's
Yeah,
the
let me tell you.
secret?
It's
Nice.
harder to make it not boozy.
Really?
I'm running into the problem right now. I actually threw my last batch away because I was like, God damn it, I can't keep drinking like 5% alcohol booch every fucking day.
Just getting torqued.
Yeah, because it's like what is this? 16 fluid ounces? What is that? That's a pint, isn't it?
That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm downing a pint every time I drink one of these. But um, effectively, yeah, you just let it, you like over ferment it, because really when you do your first fermentation, I was doing 7 days, and I think that was far too long apparently. Also, I think it was like how I was rotating out my um, liquid that it lived in, because I would always leave like a fifth at the bottom to maintain like a good culture, because I built up my own SCOBY from like a
That's all.
non-flavored booch bottle.
How do you build a SCOBY and also not have it die? A friend of mine has been trying to do booch and he killed his SCOBY.
All right, I got this down. I've killed maybe 3, but this one I have stable. It's living and it's thriving. So one is buy a flavorless booch.
Mm-hmm.
I use Synergy or a GTS just because it's just the kind I usually get. And then what you do is you dump one of those. If you can do it with just one bottle, but what I was doing is I'd mix one bottle in, and then you make tea. Like I use black tea. Um, Sometimes I'll do like a black green mix.
Mm.
But you do. Um, I have a gallon jar, fermentation jar that I use, so it's kind of a
Okay.
ratio that I developed. But basically, I use 6 tea bags for 8 cups of water.
Mm-hmm.
But the trick is to not. It cannot be hot whatsoever. It has to be room temp when you pour it in. Um, so what I do is I steep
Would it
it.
matter if it's cold?
Yeah, that's the trick. You won't kill it when it's cold, but you will slow its fermentation down a huge amount.
Okay.
So what I started doing is I steep all the tea with 2 cups of boiling water, and then I take water from the fridge and I dump in the remaining amount to like drop the temperature down really quick. And then 1 cup of cane sugar. You
Okay.
have to use sugar. You can't use honey. Honey will actually stop the fermentation process. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
so
because honey doesn't go bad. It has like preservative properties, doesn't it?
yeah. So
Mm.
but also you can introduce honey's weird, and it actually technically contains a little bit of botulism in it. So you could introduce that into the system. So it's better to stay away from it. But so then you dump all that in, and then you cover it. You can use cheesecloth if you don't like. I have like I don't know what they're called, but they're like little bubbler things. It's so that it only lets gas out and doesn't let any air in. Um,
Oh
but
yeah, it's like a percolator or something. My dad has those for when he's brewing beer. You
exact
put
same
it's like a
thing.
little bit of water in like the middle of it, and it
Yep,
just bubbles out, but it doesn't let any air back in.
yep, exactly.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay. Okay.
so I use one of those, and then you fill that up, and then you just let it sit there for a week. You want to keep it. You don't want it hot, but you want it to be like room temperature. Um, and out of direct sunlight. So we just have it on the counter by our stove, so that any ambient heat from off the stove will help warm it up.
Okay.
And then you're going to, for like building up the booch, what I would actually do is then, how did I do it? I think I dumped half of it out. You could second ferment that half, but I wasn't, because it wasn't fermenting a lot. And then what I do is buy another booch. It took 3 bottles of non-flavored booch to do this, but then eventually I got snot forming, or like the actual SCOBY was starting to form. Mine isn't like a puck yet. That's going to take probably another year to get to that point.
Oh, so this is like a long
This is a
haul
baby.
sort of cultivation.
Yeah, this is a baby.
Okay.
But it's the cheapest way to do it, effectively. I haven't, because I was buying a bottle of booch every day. I was basically burning through like fucking $25 a week in
Wow.
in
What if
booch.
you have someone that just has scobies? Is it easier to get that?
Yeah, if they have a mother SCOBY that's like can handle being like split, it'll like
Uh-huh.
it'll like wafer off, and if it's starting to wafer off, they should be pulling that off anyways and putting in a new tank. You can get one of those. So you follow the exact same practice. Put the SCOBY in there, eight cups of water to 6 tea bags, and 1 cup of sugar, and then you just let that ferment. If you have an active SCOBY, you should be able to ferment a gallon of kombucha every week.
Wowie.
That's what I'm at, and that's the problem. Was like I was getting too alcoholic and I couldn't keep up with it because I was just like. But then if you want to do flavors, you do that in the second fermentation. So that's where you like put it in a bottle and then you add a little bit of juice.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to add sugar. The juice should be your sugar content.
Yeah. Because you already fermented. That should be it for the sugar.
Exactly. And then usually
so decently similar process to like fermenting beer.
Yeah, basically. The only difference is you're just using some weird
some weird
snot.
mushrooms.
yeah, basically.
Nice.
But yeah, I this is the third time when I lived with Panda. I was fermenting there. That one I never got very successful. I think this is my third attempt at like getting a good booch, and now I might got it nailed down. Oh yes, I'm on my way to Signet. Look at fucking talking about booch and just clicked and got a nice flat going.
There you go. See, it all comes together.
All right, I need to now. The one thing I need to learn is how to like. There's like ways to draw curves on shapes and then use that as a masking point so that you can get like more refined and angled masks. You can only draw masks either freehand or at 90 degrees.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a way to change that because it shows that it's 90, but I don't know what. There's like 1,000 keyboard shortcuts with this software. My old coworkers at
You just gotta run it
Benelux.
through the decimator to knock it down to 10.
I wish. Started selling their booch at Benelux, and they still work there. Huh. Benelux. I miss Benelux.
I miss Benelux too. It's been over a year since I've been to Benelux. It's been over a year since I've been back to Wisconsin. It's kind of lame. Wait, which one of your followers worked at Benelux? Is that Anthony?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, Anthony?
That's who Dr. Panda is.
Oh, it's Dr. Panda. What's up? Yeah. That's awesome. Long time no see. That's cool. God, I miss Benelux. I miss Milwaukee. I'm homesick. Oh, excuse me, gross.
I can't tell if I miss it or not. I feel like I have like this weird.
I have a nostalgia for it. I don't know
yeah.
if it's a genuine. I mean, I miss like not seeing my friends and family. Which is why I hope I can get vaccinated and go see them soon.
Yes.
Or just quit my job and move back and say YOLO, whatever, right?
So, Anthony asks, where does Will live? To not dox Will on the internet, I will say he lives in upstate.
I'm on the East Coast.
Yeah. He lives close. He lives within a train ride of New York. I'll just say that. Yeah. I don't care if you. I'm in New York. Try to find me.
Yeah. Good luck.
Then he says MKE is dope. Fuck Benelux though. But I think it's crazy that employees are selling their own booch. Like it'd be crazy to sell your own booch. Yeah, I refuse to sell.
They sell it out of Benelux. Like Benelux lets them hawk their booch, or is it just like, hey, thanks for coming to Benelux. I hope you enjoyed your dinner. By the way, we got some booch in the back room.
Got some low key booch.
Some low key booch. I'm a fun guy. I had to. I'm sorry.
Here, you know what? I'm just gonna freehand this signet. I'm not gonna stress
Yeet.
about this. I'm trying not to be a perfectionist anymore in my art because it's crippling to me.
Yeah, Dr. Panda, I am a East Coast elitist now, apparently. East Coast, more like Beast Coast. You know what I'm saying?
God, I fucking hate that. He said they sell it at the bar.
Interesting. I hope they pay these employees for their booch.
Let's clean up those edges.
Also, like, what happens if, like, it's a bad batch of booch and, like, you get food poisoning?
Well,
Or, like...
That's something that I always wondered because, like, I've never had anything that I've made yet where I, like, really questioned it. The only thing I fermented recently that I was like kind of on edge about was I made garlic honey and
Or, like, honey kombucha, huh?
not
Or no,
kombucha,
just garlic
just
honey.
garlic honey, yeah.
Oh, okay, I know what you're talking about.
But with
Okay.
that, you run the risk of like letting the botulism take over.
Yeah.
But you just gotta keep it at a pH balance that's low enough. And
This
I
toast
had
tastes like botulism.
yeah, I had a bunch of pH strips, so I just checked to make sure I was below.
It
But
passed the litmus test.
yeah, literally.
Nice. We're learning things today.
But it was I don't know, like that just it's something about Booch just like you could grow something in it that would fuck someone up.
Yeah, like you're making it's fungus based. Like there's so much that could go wrong, I feel like.
And like I think one of the reasons why mine is so like been consistent is because I do use the bubbler tap. If you use the cheesecloth, shit can get in there. That's the whole point of cheesecloth, like fermentation, is to let like
Yeah,
fresh air in and out.
that's fair.
But
So yeah, what's the difference between cheesecloth and bubbler fermentation? Like, because you're not getting any air in there with a bubbler, obviously, so it's way more sanitary, I feel. But
yeah,
is
it
there any
is.
benefit to doing like aerating it, like with a cheesecloth, like letting air cycle through it? You
It
know?
will ferment a lot faster,
It'll fat. Okay.
and you'll gain the flavors of whatever area you're in.
Okay. So if you're like in an Italian style kitchen where there's garlic on everything, it would pick that up, right?
Yeah,
So you'd have honey garlic kombucha.
yeah, yeah, you would. Um, so yeah, that's what I used to when I lived with Panda. I did the cheesecloth method, and yes, you can. I was just asked, can you do an anaerobic ferment and burp it throughout the day? You can. That's what the bubbler does. Is effectively that where I don't have to burp it; it burps itself, and that's the preferred way because then it only puts in whatever goes in is the only thing that's gonna like come out of it. Well, aren't we all fancy enough to have a burp butler? It's the way it was cheap. All right, it was technically free, to be completely honest. I kind of got like I fell in a loophole of Amazon return. I ended up with instead of the two I purchased, I ended up with four and paid for none of it. And that's the way it should be. Amazon should just give us free things. I also use that. I used to use one of my extra jars to make hot sauce that is painful but delicious. Oh, Will, I should send you some. Oh my god, yeah, I'm gonna send you a little bit. I have two kinds. I have one that's ginger. It's very gingery, and then another hot sauce that is just pain. But
What?
I think the ginger one would be good on meat, which is something I can't test. So I'll send you some to test.
Please do. I need to find a culinary hobby to add to my already insurmountable pile of hobbies.
It should
I
be
feel
fermentation.
fermentation. Do I turn
It's.
into a beer guy?
I think you should. It's fun. It's
Like
stupid easy, and most of it's just
I could
fucking
pick my
waiting.
dad's brain on it because he's a brew master. He's really good actually. So I
I
don't
think
know.
you should do
That
it.
could also be a nice little father-son bonding time, you know. I gotta do this miniature's face. It's starting to bug me. I've been neglecting it the entire time. The rest of the miniature's built up so well, and then the face is just like
You're so
color
small
block.
on my screen. I can't. I have no idea. I know you're there and painting stuff.
This is more for my viewers, all two of them, right? It's okay. I do get I do get a decent amount of views on the videos though, which is nice. Which means people are coming through. They're cycling through.
I
So
usually
that's
get like an extra 5 bumps after it posts,
yeah. I think it
which
depends on the channel you pick too,
the
because
category.
the Warhammer category is not like the biggest. It's big, but it's not like Fortnite. You know, like you're gonna
Right.
drown in like um Fortnite video group, whereas like Warhammer, it really just depends, yeah, on like the volume, you know.
Yeah, I just use the art tag because I don't like. I try to find like modeling and stuff like that, and I couldn't really find anything. So
Twitch's tags are actually super lacking. Like honestly, they're so bad.
if only your NSA doubles counted.
Yeah, where are my FBI agents? Could you like
Just
stop
follow,
masking and like give me a follow, man? Like I would really appreciate that. You're
share to
already
your other
following my
FBI
every
friends.
move.
Yeah.
Yeah. If everybody's FBI agent could also drop a follow, we'd be there. It'd be easy. It'd be so easy.
All right. I have a vague signet ring going on right now.
Noise.
Now the
Noise.
question is, can I remember how to do a bridge?
Do you remember? I don't know, do you? Do you
I've done
remember?
it. I did it one time.
We're gonna go back to the road
Curved bridge.
and hopefully not regret our decision.
So if I remember,
Because we're gonna
I just. Well, that kind of worked. It did.
I also love this dual stream because we're working on like two almost completely different things, but also very similar. Both of them 3D. Um,
Oh, you fucker.
see it, Aaron. You need to design the miniatures, and then I will paint them. And then we'll
Oh my
start my
god.
own miniature company.
I
So write
that
that down.
that I don't. Man, I don't really want to. The reason I don't necessarily want to sculpt minis is because one, I suck at the human form.
Okay, you can get better. Don't
I've
have to
really
be human.
well, I suck at pretty much anything that's humanoid or anything that's a beast. I am fucking god awful at.
Beast. How dare you?
But what I
Beast.
really want to do is, and this is something that I wanted to like, one of the reasons why I wanted to get better at Zbrush is I want to make terrain tiles
Yeah, yep. There you go.
and
If you did like a dungeon builder kit,
yes,
I could definitely paint them for promo. I think that'd be dope. I think you're onto something.
because I like
And like do like modular sets,
yeah. Oh, I definitely want it modular. You know,
because I know like there's plenty of modular like D&D sets, but we'd be better. We'd be the best,
I mean
obviously.
the who, but
Look at
really,
us.
is there? How many are there really there that are super popular outside of
I
Dwarven
know there
Forge?
was Dwarven Forge. We both said Dwarven Forge.
Seriously, it's the only one. There's like I've seen some on like Thingiverse where people are like, yeah, I decided I wanted to make my own, so you can 3D print.
It's all about production and
But yeah,
marketing.
they looked very like basic, and Dwarven Forges are fucking dope. Like they're
Dwarven Forge
cool.
is great. I love Dwarven Forge. No hate to Dwarven Forge, but Dwarven Forge needs a competitor.
Okay,
You know what I'm
there's,
saying?
yes, I agree. That's exactly who I want to compete with. I would love to compete with Dwarven Forge.
Let's do it. Let's have that be our side hustle.
Maybe I'll, oh my god, maybe that can be some of my streams after I finish. I have like six
There you go.
busts that I want to get through first. Um, but some of them are way better. I started with this one because it's the worst mesh. I think one of them's Athena. I can't. It has like things that make me believe, like like imagery that makes me think it's Athena. Anyways, I want to make an Athena pendant. If it's not Athena, I'm going to put more imagery on it to make it Athena. But Panda wants to ask, how does Will define a well-built model?
Built model. Like well built or well designed. Um, I guess a well built, a well made, well built, well designed model is a model that gets the information across that the creator intended, that the user or the person interacting with also enjoys. Um, so like we have, let's just take a little looky-loo at this Games Workshop Dark Angels librarian model here, and we'll talk about why this is a good model and maybe why it's not a good model. So we have here a, a librarian figure from the Dark Angels force of Warhammer 40,000. Um, Librarians are from the Space Marine faction, so that's why they have this like big, cool armor on. And librarian is a term that basically means psychic or spellcaster for this universe. Um,
Not an open
so
image.
this, and then like you can see like the little book hanging off his belt here. So librarian, because they keep all the spell books for the chapter. Um, and the reason I think this is a successful miniature for the most part is the action, like the action pose it's in. Like you can see he's walking forward. He has a force grip out. So he's casting something, you know? And then you can kind of see the face maybe. Let me autofocus again. Let me get a better look. There we go. So yeah, you can see like he has like a face going, and he kind of has like that force choke grip. Now, when we look across the rest of the model, we take a look at I'm looking at these little things here. These little things called purity seals for the model. These like little flapping pieces of parchment. Okay. Now, if you look at them, they're flowing in the same direction that his hand is pointing. So you can kind of get the idea that there's a force of physicality like coming from this guy's like center of gravity. So like the winds of change are moving. The forces that be are like coalescing and he's successfully casting a spell. So I that's what I love personally. And also like his like cloak is like flapping a little bit at the bottom there, which is nice. So you can kind of get like the feel that like the winds are rising. He's getting ready to really like just blast someone's brains out with like a nice lightning bolt or something, you know? And then like you look at the cloak and it's like kind of folded and it's like sweeping towards that. Like the direction, like the motion of this miniature is all in the same flow. Like it's all going towards a vocal point. Um, and then uh, like the iconography across the model all ties it back to the faction that it's from. Like this little emblem here is a Dark Angels emblem. So traditionally librarians wear like blue armor to denote that like that's their symbol of office is like blue armor. That's what makes them special. But they all have like symbols on their like garb somewhere that denotes what their parent faction is. So we have like this little sword with wings on it. It's like a little like subtle thing. And then also this like very deep green, this dark green. That right there that you see repeated is also a like a callback to the chapter. That's more of a design choice on my part because like um you obviously like green isn't part of the sculpting process. Green is like what I chose to like hint that further that this model is from the Dark Angels Force. I do have, let me grab a couple more of my favorite miniatures actually, because I do have some good ones. Let's see. Um, Again, I have like this little skeleton dude. It's like Skeleton Lord. You look at him, again, like since we're talking about motion, like you can see like the cape like flow out this direction. So like his like you can imagine like especially with this like power stance, this Captain Morgan stance he's got going on. He's like stepping on top of like a high area, like a mountainscape or something, and the wind is blowing up there, obviously. And then like this little detail like right there. You see that like this little skeleton hand. He's stepping on like what looks to be like a tombstone and like another one of his skeleton buddies is like trying to pop up out of there and he's just like no. um but yeah, and then like fabrics also are like notoriously hard to paint or sculpt, at least for me. I have a tough time with fabrics. So when I see like especially with this cape here, you can see like where it's catching on the spear that he's holding and like wrapping around, like you can see like the spine of this spear in the sculpt of the fabric. So like normally like the cape would just like whoosh if he wasn't holding that spear, but like the fact that it like catches on that and then like deflects a little bit is just so smart. It's so smart. I'm a big fan of movement when it comes to miniatures. Like miniatures have come a long way, a long, long way since they were all cast in pewter and like in just like a static pose, you know. I have one more. Let's see. Speaking of motion, I have this old D&D mini here. It's a fighter. You know, it's pretty standard. It's pretty standard. See, this model was well built. But the face is bothering. I meant the face is bothering me because I haven't painted the face yet. The face is still just like color blocked in. I haven't brought it up to the rest of the value scale that I have the rest of the model at. And maybe that's just because I'm intimidated at painting faces, so I'm definitely going to do that next. But I just want to hit on this model real quick. Like, look at how like dynamic this pose is. Like, this guy is ready or just got through slashing the heck out of some D&D baddie. Like, you can kind of see he's like slightly lurching forward, shield ready, and then like sword like fully elongated. Um, and then like looking at top down, you see there's almost like a cross pattern with the way his waist and legs are, and then the way his upper torso and arms are. You see? So like he's swinging from the hips, which is if you know anything about like fighting or like martial arts, like you want to put your hips into your strikes. That's where you get a lot of your power. So like whoever sculpted this must have known that, or at least they were tuned into that. So like I don't know. I really appreciate that at least. But yeah, I hope that sort of answers your question. Build the casting building. Called the painting process. Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Yeah, when I was talking about the face on this little duder here, I just meant if you look at it, it's kind of just like a flat, fleshy color, while the rest of it is all built up, and that's just me completely neglecting the face. I usually save faces for last because they're somewhat involved, depending on what you want to do. Like if you want to add pupils or like blush or anything like that, or just build up skin tone. So I think I want to add just at least something. So you motivated me to add something. So we're gonna pick out some flesh tones and maybe some washes while we're at it. So let's just grab these to start. And then maybe a flesh wash to go with it. I'm glad I could help answer questions. No problem. I'm gonna move to a different spot on my wet palette. I'm getting pretty full here. How you doing, Aaron?
I'm Googling.
You're Googling?
Yeah.
What are you Googling?
How to do the thing that I've been trying to do while you've been talking.
Okay.
And now I'm fixing your window.
To take up your airtime.
No. I blew you up while you were talking so people could see it on my stream as what the fuck you're talking about. And now I'm just readjusting your window. And now I'm going to go back to Google.
Back to the Google. Close your naughty tabs.
Oh wait, you're probably going to be able to hear the video.
Well, we only have... Oh wait, no, it's through desktop.
Yeah, you won't hear it, but everyone else will.
Your chat might. That's fine. So we're gonna go in, and I just picked a flesh tone that's a little lighter than the base tone I put on here. I really watered it down a decent amount, and we're just gonna pick out some details, like raised details. So like nose, brow, cheeks, lips, that kind of stuff. And we're gonna try our best to like leave the recessed areas that dark base color. Faces are probably, for me, the most difficult part of a miniature to paint. But like I always say, a steady hand wins the race. Let me refocus real quick.
Also, to be clear, I didn't say train, I said terrain.
Terrain.
Terrain, as in like
Terraria.
Yes.
Rain.
Ground.
Terran.
Terra firma.
Holy Terra.
And
that's what Earth is called in the 40K universe.
What is it?
Terra, or Holy Terra.
Dirt.
Holy dirt.
And in tabletop, there's terrain tiles that allows you to build, like, okay, and for example, in our D&D game, I use Tabletop Simulator to build out our maps with terrain tiles. Same thing, but IRL, and way more interesting.
Yeah, with like physical pieces.
Yep. Jesus Christ, tell me how to fucking put a hole. Oh, although that was pretty fascinating.
Right place.
I love that Soundgarden song.
Black Hole Sun?
Yeah, Jesus Christ, tell me how to put a... Right? Or something like that.
Close enough.
I made a bad joke, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I believe it. It's fine.
Jokes.
How to create a tunnel in Zbrush. It's going to piss me off. Because I'm not using the right word. How to create a bridge, I think is the term. Apparently it's also a term in Excel.
Imagine if we chose to be good at Excel instead of other stuff. Then I wouldn't be lying on my resume every time I apply to a new job.
I've gotten really good at Sheets.
Google? Oh. Is that Google Sheets?
Yeah. Click on the... Delete it. Turn the symmetry off. Symmetrical is on it. Select curve. Start to draw a stroke to close the hole. Press the shift key and continue holding it until your stroke crosses the first ear hole.
Sure.
Start to draw a stroke. Start to draw a stroke close to the hole. Press the shift key and continue holding it until your stroke crosses the first ear hole. ZBrush will detect the opening and create a curve around the hole. Rotate your model until you see the other hole. Same technique. As soon as you release the cursor, ZBrush. Okay, this is because I fucking wasn't holding goddamn shift down, I'm going to be just as annoyed as I always am with ZBrush when it comes to this crap. Because it's like dumb powerful as long as you know the goddamn modifier keys. I think that's my most annoying thing about ZBrush is every brush, like pretty much everyone uses like 5 brushes and then they just ignore everything else in the software. It's from what I've learned from watching different sculpts. Like someone's like, I only use these 3 and that's all I use to sculpt and I don't use anything else. But it's because like one of those brushes can do like 40 things. And that's like the fucking brush I'm using right now. Just in case everyone wanted to hear my rant.
Absolutely.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If this... God damn it! I'm happy because it worked instantly. If you're just wait that 5-second delay to kick out, and you'll see my very terrible looking signet ring at the moment. But
I don't know, man.
Needs work, but I filled the hole, and that's all I wanted. But now I can start making it. Let's turn off this. Oh god. I have a bunch of... Wait, what's happening? Where'd my top go? What? Whoops, I may have went too far back before.
Where'd my top go?
I don't know how to turn that curve off. Oh god, what have I done? What have I should probably finish reading the instructions. There's a huge train convention at the domes every year. Okay. Click once on the surface to remove the curves. Clear the mask.
Like a model train convention, or like a train, like a life size, like life size or scale train. Because my uncle is like super duper into model trains. I feel it's just like the next logical step for me once I turn into like an old man. That's just how it is. That's how it starts.
My model train. My old boss at UWM when I worked in AV, he's super into. God, I hope he's still alive. He's old, man.
Check in on him.
I don't know what his email. I don't have his personal email. Like he stopped emailing me after he retired.
Don't they all?
But I followed him on Facebook. That's how we stay connected. But then I deleted Facebook. But
he
academia. Got really into model trains when he retired. He like converted an entire space.
That's awesome. That's like totally like a retiree hobby.
Yes.
But I love it though. I love it. I mean, I'm painting Warhammer miniatures. I'm not too far off. I have no stick to waggle.
I mean, I imagine I'm going to do the exact same thing I do now, which is, sans work in between.
Yeah.
Basically, I just want to be a retired person.
I really do too. I just want to be retired and work on my hobbies and get money. So, maybe someday when these Twitch bucks start rolling in. Which, thank you to all my tip donors. Appreciate that. It all adds up.
All my tips go to my cat, so...
Yeah, you just know whenever you donate money, it is A, going towards improving the stream, and B, putting food in Pickle's mouth. And she is very insistent on getting food. She also is like, she's basically my alarm clock in the morning. She like will wake me up on the dot every morning. Like, hey, it's time to, you know what time it is. It's time to eat.
That's very real.
Fire bowl. And if I don't go and feed her within like a minute, she'll come and like literally jump and sit on my head. Like, hey, wake up. It's absolutely fucking adorable. I love cats.
Linda handles all of that morning feeding because I'm a fucking horrible monster and I refuse to wake up. Hold on,
Wow.
we're we're gonna do
Linda MVP.
we're gonna do a Flynn cam. Oh my god,
Flynn can't.
take a look at Flynn.
Let me see. Give me a second. Let me blow up the screen here.
I'm gonna be honest, Will. I can only give you as much as he tolerates.
There's a little bit of Flynn there. Look at the kitty.
Flynn is just gonna hold up this giant monster.
I love that I can see my stream on your stream reverberated.
He's
So there's technically an infinite video loop going on right now.
So
That's
Flynn
funny.
is about the size of a small dog.
Big
He's
fella?
done. He's done. Yeah, he's big, but he's very skittish. I want him to be my friend and let me cuddle him.
Yeah, that's how Pickle is. Pickles is not a pick-me-up cat. Pickles is very much a respect me from a distance cat. But also give me everything I want when I want it kind of cat.
Yeah, that's
Which is totally fair. You know, you're a cat. You earned that. You earned that.
I want Anthony's cat, Woodrow, that gentle beast. He's also a small dog.
Have I met Woodrow? Was Woodrow around?
Yeah,
during
you
the
would.
Milwaukee times?
Yeah, you would have met Woodrow.
I feel like that. Yeah, I definitely met Woodrow. Okay.
He's a big ass fucking just
Woodrow and
doofus.
Kitten were both cats at the same time.
Yep.
Man, that feels like forever ago. Goodness gracious. Just thinking about that, it's like.
Oh, that's what. Oh, sick. Oh my goodness! I keep making this accident, and I couldn't figure out what was happening. But I have modifier keys, so if I have the select lasso key on, I can select a row of polygons based off an edge I'm selecting. Oh my god, that's useless right now, but later on, probably helpful.
But we love those moments of discovery, right?
Oh my god, that's what half my channel has been so far, is just me figuring shit out in Zbrush as I go along. I used to have this one cat, technically not my cat, but he's basically my cat. I had him for like a year. I was babysitting. He was the best fucking cat in the world. I hate that he is not my cat anymore. It was pre-kitten, but I love kitten to death.
Cat.
But his name was Turkish. He was a Turkish Angoran. He had like this beautiful smoky gray fur. He was a bigger cat too, but he would love to spoon. So if I like went to bed and like I'd put him in like a spoony position, we'd wake up in the morning in the exact same position. He wouldn't leave. He was amazing.
That's awesome. Pickles will do that, but like she is very ADD about like sleeping positions. So she'll like hang out for a little bit and then go do some and then come back and sleep. She's like a micro sleeper, micro napper kind of cat. Like she'll take, like cats all sleep a bunch, right?
Yeah.
But she'll like, just a hard time like sleeping all through the night, if that makes sense. You know, she's got cat stuff to do, like run around and
there's stuff, you know.
My stuff over, yeah. You know, can't blame her. It's a busy life being a cat, so absolutely.
I think Anthony's the only person that's met Turkish. God, what a fucking wonderful cat.
So chat, you just saw me manically shaking the heck out of this little bottle of paint here. I've used these in previous streams. These are called contrast paints. These are like heavy pigment with a lot of like flow improver basically. So it's almost like a wash with an absurd amount of pigment in them. And this is how you get like really fast paint schemes done really fast. And that's why I was shaking it, because the pigment likes to settle at the bottom if you don't use it for a certain amount of time. So I'm just sitting here shaking it like a maraca. Aren't cats nocturnal? Yeah, well, that too, yeah. What's up, Rusty Shackleforge? Welcome to the chat. Hey yo, dropping in. Yeah, that makes sense. Um, but yeah, this contrast paint is like an off-white that adds like a really subtle effect, like a gray. It's like a gray. It's like a light off-white gray that if you put over top of a white, it kind of gives it like a stone appearance. So I'm gonna put a little bit of it over his chest emblem, and if you look at like that, his like shoulder eagle, kind of there it is. You can kind of see where it really dips into those recesses. So I'm gonna try very carefully to get that same effect on this chest eagle. We'll see though. And with contrast paint, it's definitely one of those paints where you just put it on and you forget about it. You do not go back in and rework it. Because it is a very finicky paint. So I'm going to paint this over and let it sit where it sits. See, I'm already being a hypocrite and going back and working in, but I can see it's still wet. It's a force of habit. So you just put this all over and it will settle in the recesses. Gonna need to fix that. But like contrast paints are amazing. They're like a newer thing Games Workshop has done, and they really do speed up painting processes. But for like people that have been painting with regular paints, like regular acrylics, it just goes against everything, you learn as you go. Like it's such an iconoclastic paint. There's a big word. There's another word of the day.
That is a big word.
Just gonna clean that up real quick, and then... But I don't know. I have a love-hate relationship with these contrast paints because some of them are really good, some of them are not so good, and they really, it really depends on what you use them for. I've stated before in my streams that I'm not a fan of the contrast paints over like smooth surfaces, which is what I did this armor with.
Wait,
and you
Will,
can kind of see it turned out okay. It's just a little blotchy. What's up?
can you reiterate what a contrast paint is? Because I zoned out for a second.
Oh no, a contrast paint is like a halfway paint between like a regular acrylic paint, like this stuff here, and then like a wash paint, which is almost like an ink, like a transparent, translucent ink, that you would put over the model that seeps into recesses. So it's
Ah,
basically like an ink just like jam packed with pigment, and like a flow release agent that really helps out. Um, what was I saying?
sorry.
You put it over like a really like a white or bright primer or undertone to get the effects. And I was saying that I'm not a big fan of how it looks over smooth surfaces, which is what I did for the armor. Like this blue is all like a blue contrast paint. As you can kind of see on the hand there, it's like a little blotchy. It's not awful, but for me, it's not ideal. But where it really starts to shine is in like texture. Like if you have like a fur or a wood or something like that, or like stone even, like the eagle, like the on or like this like emblem on here, uh it really like has that like stone gargoyle kind of effect to it. So there's definitely applications where I think it's beneficial to use contrast paints, but I also like to use. I was just this is has been a test model to use contrast paints in conjunction with like traditional paints. So we've been just playing around with all that. So what I'm gonna do once this like off-white that we just put on the emblem right there is dry, it's gonna knock that back to like a gray color, and then I'm gonna go back in with like a white or like a really bright gray and then highlight that, and that'll look real snazzy. And that's kind of what we did with the shoulder emblem. Let me autofocus real quick, get a better look. Oh, there we go. So you can get a better look that's not so washed out. I'm also starting to bring up some of the values in the face, so it's not just like a bland color block. You can kind of see there. Fashionably late. Yeah, Rusty. we did get the we did get the stream started. It was a bit of a hassle last night, but we figured it out. All thanks to Landry here, who I'm co-streaming with at the moment. Came up with a very viable solution which helped. But if you're interested, it is on my channel page in the video section. It's going to be the one before this one once this publishes. So definitely check that out if you want. It was a really fun stream. Giving me the whole.
It was a good stream. A lot
Oil
of
is
cat
just
facts.
like such a good cheat. A lot of facts. Yeah, a lot of Hello Kitty facts. Which is great. We had Gundam facts, we had Hello Kitty facts, we had all the facts. It was a good time. So yeah, if you're looking to burn an hour or two, it's still on there, which is nice. I like that about Twitch, is that they'll save your videos. I wish they saved them permanently and let you decide when you wanted to delete them, but that's Twitch. I know also if you make affiliate, you can, is it affiliate or partner? One of the two, you can keep videos for longer than 2 weeks.
It's partner. Then
Is
they'll
it partner?
yeah, then they'll store it for
Everything
you.
fun is for partner.
Yeah. That's why I've been downloading them and like archiving them on YouTube.
I should do that. How do you, can you download them? Can you download them from
So when you
the
go
menu,
into your
or do I need to record from my OBS?
no. I was going
Because I
to
know
do
you
that,
can
but I
record from
realized
OBS.
how fucking taxing that would be on everything. Go
Yeah.
when you go to your channel there or your content creator panel page. You know that like menu that only like you can do if you're like actually uploading shit.
Yes.
There's a video editor or video producer or something menu called like that, and then
Yeah,
it'll
video
show your
producer.
yeah. So it'll show the last couple streams you've done, and then you can right click on the little dots and you'll click download. It'll take a little bit to process it. Took me like 20 minutes
Okay.
for it to process, and then it started the download. And then
Gotcha.
a 2-hour 1080 streams about 2 gigs.
Okay. Oh, wow. Well, so does it download? It probably downloads the quality that was uploaded to Twitch, right? Because mine are pretty low quality because of my internet connection.
Yes, it'll be whatever you
How bad of a tax is it if I also record it at the same time as streaming through OBS? Is it really that much of a tax?
it's more of the hard drive. Um,
Okay.
I did because you're on the fly encoding. Actually, it might you should try it.
Oh, I should try. Okay.
Well, I think you should. I
I'll
think my
try.
system will be fine because right now I'm using less than a full percentage of my CPU, so I don't think it really phase me. But I would have to export it out onto one of my. I have too many.
Would
Well,
it
I have two NVMe's and a 8 TB hard drive. So
would it make a difference if you used a hard disk versus a solid state drive? Do you think?
yeah. So what I was gonna say is like if you do it, you should record it out to a solid state because then you won't have any ingest.
Any moving parts?
Yep. And
Okay.
it can handle that a little bit better. Well, let me take that back. It potentially could handle a lot better. With my hard drive, I have a big ass 8 TB drive, but a really slow, a really small cache on it because it's just like it's deep storage. It's meant just like be a
Mm,
backup area. So it's not that wouldn't be good for me because I like the stream would overload that cache really quickly. But my spare NVMe that has a bigger cache, so that would be able to handle the constant writing.
big cache. Can you for our viewers that are probably going to watch this and watching now, could you explain that like I'm five? For those
So
of us that don't know what NVMEs are or
so
caches are.
we've gotten to a point in computer technology where um, we have our traditional hard drives, which are mechanical. There's actually little a little thing on the inside that goes across a reflective disc, and it kind of like reads and pulses a little laser into it and flips it to be either a 1 or a 0, and that's how it stores data. And then there's the new style of hard drives. Well, if they're not hard drives, a new style of storage called NVMe, which stands for non-volatile memory. very similar to your thumb drive, or a jump drive, or whatever you want to call them, pen drives. Same idea,
Okay.
except like a
It's like a bigger scale.
way larger bulk. And to kind of, I don't know how to explain this without getting too in depth. But the way they plug into your motherboard uses high speed transfer. So like your USB, it's for your general input, like your general use stuff that you normally use like a thumb drive for. Totally fast enough, but it would not be fast to constantly be running off a drive on.
Okay, like at all times, yeah.
Right. Like you can use, like, Linux is notorious for like creating like thumb drives that you run your Linux drive off of. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but they cheat, and they cheat by like offloading the whole system onto RAM, which, I mean, it's not really
They
cheating.
cheat.
That's what Windows does as well, but which makes it faster. NVMe is basically super fast because it's like plugged in as close as it can get to your CPU, and like the very bare minimum of a way of explaining this. So
So it's just shortening the distance.
yeah, exactly. But the trade-off is NVMe has a lifespan of how many times it can be written to,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just because it effectively degrades over each read and write cycle. It's in the millions. Like it's in a lifespan of you, like, in of a normal upgrade cycle, which generally is 4 to 5 years for like
I'm at 8.
I was gonna say, for a person like me, which I would say I'm a pretty like heavy power user, so my upgrade cycle is around 4 to 5. But most people that aren't power users are usually about where you're at, 5. It's usually
Yeah.
like 5 to 8 kind of a thing.
I have had to replace a couple bits here and there. Definitely, I upgraded my RAM and graphics card last year to keep up with stuff.
I
So
mean,
I'm getting there. I'm already feeling the squeeze.
yeah, I'm just like, I could have probably milked my system out for a little bit longer, but I bought a 4K camera, so when I started editing 4K footage, I felt
Oh,
my computer like slog real hard.
yeah.
Um, and really, it's because of my graphics card. So everything else, I had to
You
reset.
streaming in 4K right now?
I am not streaming 4K because my
I was about to
monitor,
say.
my Wacom is only 1080, so I'm not streaming 4K. I could, in
Also, I don't
theory,
know, like,
you
I don't
know,
know if Twitch like has that capability.
I don't think it
How do
does.
I
Also,
download more RAM?
yeah,
Go to
um,
downloadmoreram.com.
is it quantum? No, it's not quantum. We don't have any
Also, like
consumer grade quantum anything. Someone just
in
asked that.
my chat, yeah. So Rusty in my chat just asked, "How do I download more RAM?" So that was a funny joke, but now you can literally download more RAM. If you have like a flash drive, you can convert it into like a like a ramshackle thumb like RAM stick
Amazing.
if you really wanted to. We have that capability now. It needs to be a pretty decent sized thumbstick, but like it works in a pinch.
Wait, what the fuck did I just do?
What did you just do?
I don't know. I accidentally hit the wrong button.
Oh,
There's
no.
some weird thing happening from my masking, and I'm trying to fix it.
Ram Shack. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I told that was a planned pun. Comedic genius, actually. Timing is impeccable. Instinct. Uh, it's really good.
Is it still reading, transferring, or reading information via binary? Yes, it's still binary. It's more about how fast we can sling those ones and zeros between the CPU and the operating system. We'll not. I don't. I could be very wrong, but I don't think we'll see quantum computers at our scale in a home system unless our internet fucking overdrive, like, kicks in overdrive, and we will act as like, we'll do like
Man,
game
imagine
streaming.
if we used internet like to its full potential instead of like paying people for like a gigabyte
for a meager pittance.
For a crumb of internet.
Could you spare some bandwidth, sir?
Spare a crumb of bandwidth, my lord.
I love that they
should
used
do
to
a Kid Pick stream. Oh man, that'd be great. I'm glad you got the Kid Picks reference. I'm glad you picked up on that. That one was for you. The oh no is one of the sounds the eraser makes, where you just like nuke your entire screen. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, that is.
Either that, or it's like the undo your last action. One of those two.
God.
But I remember the sounds, they stick with you. It's like, oh no, and then like one of them is like, oh, like a sound of something like winding up, like whoop 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 whoop. Something like that.
What a fucking sensory experience Kids Picks was.
Kid Picks. I blame Kid Picks for who I am today, honestly.
I blame Cartoon Network.
And Cartoon Network. And
Nickelodeon. Actually, Nickelodeon 90s is kind of like exactly.
The 90s were insane. How did the 90s get away with doing what they did? How was Ren and Stimpy on like like primetime kids network? I remember watching that and my parents walked in and they're like, "What the hell is this?"
Cartoon. Don't worry about the nipple salesman. Just selling rubber nipples.
He's selling rubber nipples. The Christmas episode with the cat hair balls.
Oh,
I think it was a Christmas episode. Cat hair balls, get them while they're hot.
Will, did you ever see my video, my homage I made to the log commercial?
Yes, I did.
God, I fucking love that.
Ren and Stimpy, ahead of its time, really.
What the you son of a bitch. I mean, delete Edge.
Son of a bitch. Hot piss on the tip of my lips.
Oh, that's why.
We're at like a really nice spot too with how big a stream we are, where we can say just like anything,
whatever we want.
To worry about
losing sponsorship or getting blown up.
Yeah. Like, you can't just say that. I'm repealing your Mountain Dew sponsorship. But we'll build towards it. If we get to 50 followers, I'll start acting right.
I won't. I won't be able to get the code stream with you ever again.
We'll have an after dark session. How about
I'll be what's that fuckhead's name? Captain Disrespect.
Captain Disrespect.
What a chotch bag. Oh, that's right. I'm starting beef with Captain Disrespect, who's even allowed on this platform anymore.
Let's start it. Let's do it.
Oh yeah, Courage the Cowardly Dog, also good one.
Courage the Cowardly Dog was an insane show, but I also don't know how that ended up being on like primetime media.
What the fuck where'd all my tools go?
Can you still get Kid Picks?
Yes.
Question mark. Is that still like a thing? Like, are they still making Kid Picks, like new Kid Picks? Or B, I'm sure you could find like a relic, like a ROM of like an older Kid Picks, but I really want to know if they're making like
let me tell you right now,
new contemporary Kid Picks.
You could download a 15-day trial of Kid Picks 3D.
You're kidding me.
Now.
It's still going.
Yep.
It's still a 13-day free trial. What, you have to pay a subscription like Adobe? Did they
go
now. Adobe?
Let's see. Buy now. United States. This is what the people came for. Us.
That's awesome.
Kid Picks. Jesus Christ. It is hard to fucking $50.
Kid Picks Creative Cloud.
So, holy shit.
Is that a one-time purchase?
One-time single computer license.
Wow, they really went the whole Adobe route. You can't just like bring your Kid Picks CD to your buddy's house and have a good time.
Kitten Cam.
Sorry, my license only works for my computer. Again, we are in the age of information, and instead of using it We're squeezing money out of it.
I'm just taking a small break because Kitten came out of her hole for a kitten cam.
Camp.
Come on, Kitten, face the
Kitten
camera.
cam.
There she is, in all her beautiful glory.
Oh, Kitten. Let's see. Let's get her on the screen real quick. Let's see. There she is. We exist for the cats. Humanity's sole purpose is to be the caretakers for cats. And I'm totally fine with that. Totally fine with being subservient. Look at that.
Oh,
You think if
she's
I
done.
zoom in enough, we could see... Okay, so see me zooming in on your stream?
Yeah, I do.
Just keep zooming in, see how far we can go.
You should be able to zoom back into your stream.
That's what I'm saying. It'd probably be like pixelated to high heaven.
Kin
Zoom
is my
enhanced.
Kin isn't my muse as she is my familiar, so she is in fact a part of my soul.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Is there a ritual for that?
Yes.
Or is it like a box you fill out when you're at the
when you
Humane
go to
Society?
when you go to Petco.
One cat, please.
Familiar brand, thank you.
It's like checking the box on a driver's license. Would you like to opt into the familiar program?
Kitten is a stray, so just so everyone's clear, I didn't get my cat from a Petco.
She's a good stray.
She is. I got fucking the lottery of gorgeous cats when it comes to some street urchin that came up.
Some street urchin.
Where the fuck did that hole just come from?
If I had a nickel.
Actually, she's not really from the streets. She's more from the fields. She was a Wisconsin farm cat stray.
Mm. So she's a barn cat that you domesticated.
Well, I don't actually know. My partner at the time gave it to me, and she's like, "Yeah, she just showed up on our property."
Just like, here you go.
Yeah, I was like, "Okay, great." Luckily, I was looking for a cat, so perfect timing.
Yep. All right, what do we want to do next? So I'm looking at where I washed the glossy Nuln oil. You can kind of see on the mini. Let me autofocus here and get rid of that. Maybe. So I did a glossy wash of Nuln oil over like the recessed areas, like where you would see the like the metal, like the exposed metal, and it is dry now, but it looks wet, kind of, which I kind of like, but it's also throwing me off because I don't know if it's like dried yet, so I'm like hesitant to like repaint that area. Like you really see it on like the backpack. Like you can see it still looks like water, like watery wet. But I will say I do think it flowed better than the regular Nuln oil, so that's interesting. But definitely gonna be spraying this with like a finish at the end to really try and knock back all of these values to like the same plane. And then if I want something glossy, I can always go back later with like a gloss medium and paint back in. So not too worried. But I am liking the flow of that gloss. It also like, that's nice if you're going for like a greasy like machine look, you know, like that might look nice on like an orc battle wagon or something like that. I feel like that'd be a nice addition. But yeah, we're getting there. We are getting there. Also, Chad, how's my audio if anyone is still here? Can you hear me fine? Can you hear Eric fine? Is the music too loud? Yada, yada, yada. All right.
Also, I did discover a way, Will, that I want to experiment with. You can have the music duck out when you speak.
Really?
So you can have it louder rather than so. I mean, not something I wanted to try last minute, but I was playing with settings.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Is that in OBS?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a filter setting for your audio inputs.
Gotcha. Would
So
I do that under mic or like the desktop setting? You know what I mean?
It would be desktop setting.
Nice.
I apparently just tore this mesh open when I remeshed it on accident here.
Should probably see a doctor about that.
Just gonna clear that up with a little band-aid here. Boop. There we go, band-aided. All right. I have an okay looking signet here. Not really the style I was going for with my original plan in my head, but it is. Ugh.
Are they ever?
This thing is not wearable at the moment, but that's okay. We're working there.
So, forgive me if this is a stupid question.
Absolutely.
But is there no like auto repair or band-aid like button in ZBrush that will just like automatically smooth over like weird surfaces like you're going through and painstakingly correcting right now? Do you know what I mean?
There is
like how in a Rhino there's like repair, like it just like closes all seams and stuff like that for you.
There is I can show you. So there's a hole that apparently just fucking I accidentally deleted that I just fixed. So instead of me like going up to the edge and repairing it, I could go inside here and modify, and there's a close hole button here. Where is it? Close holes. And it'll do the same thing I just did. But for like bigger, like weird, like nipples and like weird things that are like popping, like that's just like topology stuff.
Yeah, like anomalies.
Yeah, that you have to go in and fix, and it's mainly caused by me. And like if I use the software probably in a better streamline, I wouldn't get those. But gotcha. You know what? That's just the way I fucking do.
Hey, I'm not knocking it. That was a genuine question because I remember in like Rhino, you can there's like a setting you can do that like repairs like weird interactions between your objects.
Yeah, totally. It's totally possible, and it does like little things, but it's like tears. But if you have like so like in the other part of the mesh that I don't have up anymore, like the reason that's causing like these weird mesh folding on itself is it's trying to like stitch points that are like not lined close enough. So it's technically doing what I ask it to. It's just doing it in a way that physically is impossible. And that's just the problem with like this kind of like digital stuff is like it can do whatever the fuck it wants, regardless of your opinion.
It's trying the best with what we tell it to do.
Okay, I'm gonna try a little trick here that I accidentally did once that I think will be the ticket of what I want to do right now.
That's the ticket.
So transpose, and then oh my god, yes.
I think I'm gonna go back into the face on this guy. I'm gonna add
rotate. Oh my god, here we go. Now let's
more
get
highlight, and then give it a wash to try and unify it.
Oh, here we go. Oh, that's better. I'd still a ring I wouldn't want to wear though. That's fine.
No, I think we'll get there. Go for it. It's a design choice.
We'll get there. I mean, I've never. So this normally what I do when I make rings in here, and this is what's something I'm excited because I'm pretty sure Arthur will go over this because he does his rings in it. What I actually did is I usually built my rings in Rhino first, exported out, imported them in. So all these, it's like these signets. I don't know if it'll. Boop. It's like these little gold boys. These signet base was made in Rhino first, and then I imported it in, and then I edited it. You can't see the little eyeball there. I edited it in Zbrush.
try and get it bigger for the chat here.
It's okay. So this is my first ring I've ever drew completely in ZBrush, which I'm trying to get better at, is just drawing inside of this.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is very pale. That's okay. We'll make him a pale guy. Paleman.
Ooh, something I'm gonna stream, probably not when I need a break from these. I'm going to stream Medium, which is that VR sculpt program.
Yeah. Do you use that pretty frequently?
No.
No?
Well, right now I don't really have
I've seen some stuff about it and it looks real interesting. So definitely let me know when you stream that, because I would love to watch that.
I will say it's fucking awesome. I just don't have any plans for, like, I have actually, there's a can't remember what they're called, but they're like the angel head tombstone things with the wings. They're called like dead heads. But
okay.
And there's one I wanted to make into a pendant for a really long time that I have a sketch just laying here. And maybe I'll make that in, because when I do stuff in Medium, I basically use Medium as a way to rough out my shapes quicker and faster, and then bring that into ZBrush and like do all my cleanup work.
Gotcha.
So yeah, that's something I want to do, and that might be a fun like break from this when I hit my wall on these. But I will definitely let you know, because it is pretty cool. It's basically like spray foam, virtual spray foam.
Virtual spray foam. That's how we used to use real life spray foam at my themed construction job, because like it's great, but like because it expands quick. Terrible for you, like very toxic.
Yep.
So don't breathe it in. But like you spray it on a wall, like say you want to carve like a fake rock face, like you spray it vertical, it gives you like really good shapes to go with, and then you just carve into it to try and make it look like a rock face. It's great stuff.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
Sometimes I miss that job and then I don't, because while the work I did was fun, it was very hazardous. And it was also a very long commute. And I was not willing to move to Jackson, Wisconsin to go to it.
Oh yeah, I remember that commute you had. Oh my god, look at this.
Yeah, that was a doozy.
Profile of this ring. Look at that ring band.
Look at that ring band.
Oh my god, it's.
So can you like draw, like, you know how you can draw like a line in, like a curved line in Rhino, and then extrude that and then use that as kind of like a cutter, you know, to like smooth out your profile there? Can you do that in ZBrush? Is that an option?
I don't know yet. Maybe. That's kind of what I was dicking around with, to try to get like just to cut this hole in it. I mean, that's kind of what I did. I masked it and then I deleted the mask out, which is like a way to do it. But that's what gave me this horrendous kind of look here. But I would love just to be able to, you know. So there's a tool in here. Let's see, trim lasso, that in theory is supposed to. Hold on.
I hear cats.
Yeah, I had to deal with a quick cat fight.
Cat fight. Let's see. She was a little fuzzy.
Come here, kitten. She was ambushed when she was eating. So yeah,
rude.
They're all. It was Sylvia. So there's a tool called trim. Kitten, just chill up here for a second. That, in theory, should be able to do what we're talking about right here, but I've never had great success with it, and I think it's because you have to use it in a certain way. Because like I pulled that off, but I think it deletes the wrong thing. Whereas I want, to keep the main chunk, versus the tool seems to only want to delete or only keep the thing that you trimmed off.
We're using this Reichland Flesh Shade for my chat. This is like a really good wash for like a skin tone. It's like a nice neutral one. You can put it on all kinds of skin tones to really like pull it all together. So what I'm gonna do is, like, I have this painted, the face painted, up to a bunch of different values. And I'm going to paint over this like very lightly to try and like mix those all together. Like it's like a blender. It's like a blending sort of shade. And it'll really push the dark tones as well. And then we'll go back into the face and then pick out different values like reds, purples, blues, yellows, believe it or not, with shading, to try and make the face look more natural, because everyone's complexion has like different values in different places. Like the midsection, like your eyes and nose will have like a more red, and cheeks too, will have a more red complexion than the rest of your face, depending. So I'm gonna load this up on the brush. Really don't need a whole lot, especially considering the working area. So I'm just gonna kind of pull this in and then dab it out. See if I can get it on screen, focused well, so everybody can see it. So I'm gonna start in the recesses and drag that out, and you can kind of see where it's building up. Ignore that like white protrusion from his other eye. That's like a bionic eye kind of dealio. We're gonna paint that later. I know I should be painting it at the same time, but it is too late now.
Yeah, so this trim tool I discovered, Will, is doing what I think we're talking about, but in a very inconsistent manner, depending on how you interact with the model.
Okay.
So, like, I can trim, like, this is something I realized I could have used before to cut my hole out. So if I want a hole in the center, but it doesn't actually, it like creates these weird little poly groups here that I could then, create the hole pretty quick in, rather than the weird masking thing I did. Mm-hmm. But then if you do a cross cut here.
Oh.
Hold on, I just did it where, you piece of shit. I just did it in a way where I cut away the thing I was highlighting.
Interesting.
How the fuck did I just do that? Well, anyways, it's in theory, I just don't know how to fucking use it properly, so I should be able to do that. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I'm hoping in the class I take this weekend, those are the things I learn, is like how to use these trim tools that don't make sense to me.
I'm sure if you ask Arthur too, just be like, hey, what do you think of this?
He does not know how much I'm going to grill him on these subjects.
You gotta keep them honest. Keep them on their toes. But you can kind of see a little bit. Let me focus that again. There we go. How's that? Let me turn off this light, see if that makes a difference. Kinda. But you can kind of see how that wash really kind of pulled all those highlights together instead of it just being one color on top of another. Still a little glossy because it's wet, but that's definitely what we're going for. You can really see the transitions and values there. Very happy with how this is coming around. Get another focus.
What was I just going to do? I totally was blanked out.
Sorry.
No, not you. It's the cat action. Oh, I remember now.
I'm probably gonna stream for maybe 15 more minutes.
Yeah, I'm hitting my...
Yeah, I just yawned, so I know
it's technically my bedtime. I go to bed at 10. I'm fucking old, man.
I know, man. I'm so old. Pickles has also been meowing from the corners, so she is also the person that tells me to go to bed when it gets too late. Put the Game Boy away. Go to bed.
Just wait till the next save. Actually, I just found out...
I can't save right now.
The trim dynamic tool is kind of what I'm wanting to do.
I can't save when I'm online.
Oh my god.
So I'm going to use this like purple, this purple shade.
Flynn.
Now this is
Stop it.
This is like the different step than the contrast paint. This is like the more so where contrast paint is more pigment, like your color pigment, the little dust that makes paint and gives color. The shade is more medium. This is like what suspends the pigment, and it has like a flow agent in it that really makes it just literally wash all over the model. And they're always traditionally like darker colors since they're shades. You can get like lighter color washes of like basically it's the same medium, just like a lighter color. We're gonna go and take this purple, just a drip of it, and we're really gonna like water it down even more so than it already is. So I'm gonna do like a 1-to-1 with this purple. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this purple and run it under areas, like recessed areas. So like where like in the eyeballs, and then like where this like weird like bionic eye protrusion meets the skin, to almost give it like that irritated like skin feel, like the bionic graft hasn't fully taken. It's gonna be real subtle, but it'll pay off. And just those little hints, those little variations.
Oh my god.
Just
Actually,
a little bit under the cheek too.
This be a.
So you really don't need much. That's about it. I'm gonna actually drag it where the face meets the cape on the mole, on the sculpt, just to kind of differentiate that a little bit more. But yeah, very subtle. What were you gonna say, Aaron?
Oh my god. I'm just kind of tweaking, putting the scan onto the ring just to see what that would look like, and it looks pretty dope.
Good, 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 good.
I was just getting excited, and I was like kind of stuttering noises.
Did I stutter?
Oh, that would be actually. This is a good idea. I like this signet ring idea. But I'm gonna
Told you. Oh, that's looking crispy. Hold on,
right.
let's get a little let's expand the view here to see what Aaron's looking at. That's looking spiffy.
Just don't look at this part.
Ring. Don't look at the actual ring. Just look at how it looks on the ring.
Right there. I'm gonna cut this ring in half, and and flip it and just make it's not symmetrical anymore for some reason. So I'm gonna split it in half, remake it symmetrical so that I can like clean it up the ring band even.
Okay. Yeah, that's sweet. It's coming along, buddy.
It is. It's all right. Also, I got Girl Scout cookies delivered today, and
oh my goodness.
Do you need a link? Do you need a link?
I need that. I need the plug, buddy. Send me.
I'll send you a link. It's it's my friend Elliot's niece.
Good.
And it's 100%. Just I fucking love it. Bought it online. Didn't have to interact with anyone. Got delivered. I actually forgot I bought Girl Scout cookies.
Of all the failures of my place of employment that irritate me, probably one of the most frustrating is there is no plug for Girl Scout cookies. Not one.
It's a goddamn shame.
That baffles me. It baffles me. Because every job I've had, there's always been someone that is hustling those cookies.
I will hook you up.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. So I'm taking, let me quick look here at the camera. We're taking this wash, Caribou Crimson. This is more of like a deep crimson, like red wash. And we're going to apply that to like the cheek areas and also like the mouth, like the lips, to kind of give it like a flush appearance. Again, very subtle. So we're just going to load up the brush with like a drop, put it on the wet palette, close our wash because we don't need all that. Let's take a dab of water, really bring down that wash to a very, very thin consistency. The thinner the better, honestly, so we can always build up from subtle to intense. But we can't go back once it's on there. So this is pretty good.
Are you going to do a positive, negative version? I might.
Go... What's that?
I was responding to a question in the chat.
Okay.
I might, and I'm done now.
So I'm taking this Caribou Crimson and I am applying it to the cheeks and the lip area, taking care to avoid where we put the purple. And we don't want too much. Like you can maybe see I added a little bit where it pulled up too much on the cheek. But you just dab your brush on your napkin or whatever and just sop that back up. But you can see just adding that red, maybe you can't see, but I can see. Just adding these like subtle tones over the skin really help pull it all together. Sweet. Now the question is, do we want to add an eye and a pupil? Because that is always the most difficult part of painting a humanoid model, is getting the eyes. Luckily, there's only one eye on this model, and then a bionic eye, because what's even more frustrating than painting an eye on a model is painting two eyes, and then trying to get them to look even, look nice, and getting those pupils pointed in the same direction. So, I think since we're here, we're just going to go for it. So I'm going to start with a color that's really, really close to white, but not white. I have this Pallid Witch Flesh. It's basically just kind of what it says. It's a very pale, like, flesh tone. And to me, this is a good substitute for just pure white, because pure white will kind of look cartoony if you do it right or if you do it wrong. Whereas this is going to be like kind of knocked back into like more earthy skin tone while still being very white, probably one of the brighter points on the model. And with this, we are not going to water it down pretty much at all, because we're not like layering up. We're gonna add enough moisture to like keep it solvent on the brush, but we don't want it like moving around at all. We want it to go exactly where we poke that brush. And I'm going to load up onto the brush, and we're only going to take the point of the brush, but we want paint on the brush to keep the moisture in the bristles so the paint doesn't harden on the brush before we even paint. So I'm going to take this and very carefully, I'm going to work upside down, see if we can focus on it, and then maybe not. Maybe this is a better approach. Yeah. So we're going to take this, and the trick is not to like poke a dot in. You want to like make a very, very small brush stroke. So we're going to go that real carefully. And hope the paint doesn't dry on the brush before we even put it in there. I think the paint dried on the brush. So we're going to go back, grab some more paint, and try again. I'm gonna see it.
I'm gonna call it in like 8 minutes, Will.
Sounds good. I think so. Me too. So we have the white there. You can kind of see it. And then we're gonna go in with a very, very dark color. Maybe black. Yeah, we're just gonna use black because it's on the palette and it's right there. I still have some black, right? Is it still viable? Is the black paint still viable? We'll see. Yes, it is. Now with the black, when we pop in that pupil, that's going to be, instead of a brush stroke where we drag the brush, that is just going to be a poke, just a dot. And I'm almost wondering, now you can still do it with the same size brush you're using. So I'm not going to scale down my brush. I'm going to keep the same brush and attempt to use it same size, but you really want to make sure your brush point is good. Let's get that. There's like a little hard bit of paint on these bristles. Clean that up a little more. Make sure we get off all the paint from before. And then very carefully get in there.
Well, what
nice.
the fuck?
Wow, that worked, huh? Let's take a look. One more step we would do after this is to draw or paint back on the eyelid. But we're gonna take a look at what we got. And that turned out pretty all right, I'd say. Let's get a closer look here. How close can we get? We can get real close.
I have you blown up on my stream too.
Nice. So you can see, like, without painting that under eyelid, he looks pretty crazed, which I kind of like, and I almost wonder if I should leave and not paint that under eyelid. Because he looks like he's, like, murderous. Like, look at that. I love that. That turned out pretty well. Now, we are blessed because we only have to paint one pupil. If we were painting two pupils, that'd be a different story because we have to make them face each other. But I think with that, I'm pretty happy. I don't think I'm gonna put an under eyelid because I'd be afraid of goofing up what we got on here already. Pretty happy with this. But with that, I think I'm okay calling it a night. I'm pretty happy with how this turned out so far. Look at that. Not bad at all. We're getting somewhere. Love it. And then I can probably work on the bionic eye next stream. Or just finish this and move on to something else. So we have been working on these for a while now, huh? But that's all I've got for tonight.
I started my signet ring over, but
yeah.
I have a new strategy coming in, but I'm done. I can't. I'm losing focus.
Oh, you got like it's a little Death Star looking thing, huh?
All right. Well, okay. Remember when I talked? Here, let me undo what I was just doing. Remember I talked about that trim function?
Mm-hmm.
So it allows me to get like a nice disc, and it makes it a poly group. And when things are poly grouped, it's really easy. I can just turn those off.
Mm-hmm.
It makes it way easier to delete them. But I noticed something. It's not letting me do that bridge command, which filled in that hole. But that's okay. I have a plan going forward that I'm gonna try to edit it before I do the bridge, anyways, to try to thin this out.
Okay.
Try to get my ring band in frame, or not in frame, in a little bit more of an elegant look.
Now, are you trying to learn how to make a ring profile in ZBrush? Is there a reason you're not just building one in Rhino and bringing it over? You know, like chamfering the edges, sizing it up, and all that?
Two reasons.
In Rhino?
Yeah, two reasons. One, I should be able to 100% do it in ZBrush. Two, Rhino, when it exports out OBJs, it doesn't handle...
Odell Beckham Jr.'s?
Yes, exactly. It doesn't... I don't know. ZBrush doesn't read it correctly in a certain way, and there's a lot of broken parts on the mesh, so I end up having to remesh it anyways, and then it loses all the hard edges of the NURBs that you get from Rhino. And I have the ability to like edit just like...
That's really strange.
An edge to get
like
crisp.
Incompatibility, or if there's like updates or something for that. That's weird.
I am using a 2-year-old version, and ZBrush has made huge changes in the past 2 years, but I found this copy on the internet because I can't afford...
Well, I was going to say the silent part out loud, but since you did.
So,
we found this program on the internet.
I just found it there. I mean, my copy of... I pay for Rhino.
Oh, yeah. Well, hey, as long as you pay for one of them, right?
But anyways, I mean, I got the face pretty much done. That's looking fun.
It looks great. Yeah, I think we made some strides tonight. I'm very happy with that.
Is that a hole
Yeah.
in his head? Right there. Look at those fucking little holes. Whatever, that's fine. I'll fix those later. But well, it was fun, Will.
Absolutely.
We need to do a
And
game
if y'all
stream.
haven't already, head on over to twitch.tv/landtree. That's LANDTREE. Give them a follow. They do some really interesting programs, like tutorials with like 3D design programs and all that. Yaz. So definitely drop them a like. Any last words, Landtree, before we head out for the night?
Well, just in
Anything you want to
case.
plug?
Yeah,
This
just
camera, this camera, this camera. Tell the world what you got going on.
I only have an A roll, no B roll. Well, everyone, just in case anyone shows up later on, go follow Will on Shova, AUNSHOVA. Check it out. Minis, models, etc. Video games.
Video games.
But other than that, no, I don't have anything to plug. This is my plug.
Alrighty.
But all right.
Alrighty. Well, good night, Aaron, and good night to Chad. It's been a pleasure streaming with y'all. We'll catch you next week, at least for me. All right. See ya. See ya.